I'm probably streaming already. Maybe. Grandma's live stream. What is that? What is YouTube um recommending to me nowadays? Grandma. Granddad. Granddad. You know what? Flintstones. You know what you wanna know how I wanna shoot. Let's see. Is there any good like Sonic Riders Zero Gravity music I can put? Uh-oh. Did my audio settings just... Oh, give me a minute. Chat yacht. Oh no. Oh no. My audio settings just reset. If I do this. Reset. Do this. Actually, it sounds loud. Wait. It sounds loud. Wait, 19, and then if I go... Oh, wait, why was it at, like... Shouldn't it be around here? Oh, wait, why was it at, like... Shouldn't it be around... Oh. Okay, what's it sound like now? That was terrible. I'm listening to my... How did I should not have 3 viewers. That was terrible. I'm listening to my... How did I should not have 3 viewers. That was terrible. Oh, wait. I think I found it. I'm getting stuff ready. Okay. It's that, and then... I'm getting stuff ready. Okay, what do I put on? You know what? You know what we're gonna put on? We're gonna put on good old, Okay, no. Okay, mute that for a second, because I... Actually, no. Because I need to hear myself. I need to make sure things are... Where's my playlist? There it is. What is this streaming playlist? Oh, it's this. You know what? It's not a bad streaming playlist. Oh, my ears! You know what? It's not a bad streaming playlist. Oh, my ears! Desktop audio is... You know what? I just realized. It's desktop audio that should be... You know what? I just realized. No. I suck at, like, setting up streaming stuff. I suck at, like, setting up streaming stuff. I can't with this. Okay, let me check audio set. Audio set, that's that. Turn that down a bit. Okay. I'm so tired, dude. Oh wait, for anyone who didn't know, I'm just yeah, it literally says in the top left. Oh wait, for anyone who didn't know, I'm just yeah, it literally says in the top left. Okay. You know what I should do? There we go. It should be around there. Maybe? I don't know. Audio input. You know what? Sure. We're gonna just leave it like this. If I touch it anymore, it's gonna get worse. Or maybe it already did get worse. I don't know. If I touch it anymore, it's gonna get worse. Or maybe it already did get worse. Ooh, you like that ASMR? It wasn't really ASMR because it wasn't that close. I literally thought of this, like, title, because, I was in the shower, and I was like, you know what, I remember that time when me and this one friend I had back in 2nd grade were, like, talking about Bloody Mary, And I'm like, you know what? Sure. And it's like when you're in second grade, you always you always have those teachers that always tell you, don't be cheating on other classmates. You don't know if they have the right answers or not. So, yeah. Na 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 na. Oh. You know how it be back in second grade. You know what? Let me tell you, like, Bloody Mary was such a scary thing back in, like what, 2007, 2008? Maybe like 08, 09? And like back then, like, computers were not exactly like super monitored, and like you could literally go on any website you wanted on those like old school computers. Like the ones that have like the really bad, it's like a big round cube in the back. And it had like the glass, and it had a glass screen, you know? Those computers you could put anything on. And like you only got in trouble if the teacher saw what was on your screen. Man, those were the days, because nowadays, no, you can't get it. I don't think you can get away with it. Oh, mostly because, you know, everything's being administered. You know, because like if you try to do certain keywords or anything, then it's like, oh, sorry, this site is blocked or this keyword is blocked. So it's like, ugh, yeah. Also, I say that because I work with like, I work with students in elementary, so you know, and plus too, and then there's YouTube Kids, so it's like you can't really. I mean, hey, you can watch the Pokemon Milwaukee Regional Championship 2025 on YouTube Kids. So it's like when all the kids, you know, tire themselves out, and you can just like sit there and watch the championships. And I'm like, dude, awesome. I'm so glad YouTube Kids allows Pokemon content. You know how it be. Also, yeah, like the whole vibe of schools is so different compared to like what it was back then. Oh, excuse me. I say back then because I grew up, you know, around like the mid 2000s. Like that's when I legit had a brain. Like my brain was developed as a kid. And I was aware of stuff. And I could, like, search the internet, and I could be like, I want to watch YouTube poop music video. No, I just want to watch YouTube poop, the King's Dinner Blaster? I doubt any of my viewers would even know what I'm talking about. But, dude, like, classic YouTube poop stuff. I wonder what's for dinner. Great, I wonder what's for dinner. I can't even quote it right. Also, for anyone watching, you're gonna have to excuse me. I'm eating dinner while also doing this. Ah! No, don't look at famous CY. I promise you, they are quite famous. AI, the Solemn Files? Dude, you are not gonna catch me playing that. Also, for anyone watching, like, dude, did anyone play that, like, it's Danganronpa, but not Danganronpa because it's made by the Danganronpa people? Because it's the same art style, but it's like what you and all these, like, other students or people live at, like, a high school or whatever, but like in the outside you have to like defend yourselves against these like monster creatures. I don't know. I don't remember the name of that game. They showed it off at some like Nintendo presentation. And I'm like, oh look, I bet my friend, my mouse friend would totally love that game. But then again, I just know that she was into like the whole Danganronpa stuff back in high school. And then I tried to get into it. But like, even though I bought the first 3 games on like I bought Danganronpa 1 on PS4, and then I bought the second and third. No, then I also bought the second one on PS4. But then I bought the second game and third game on Steam. Yeah. You know what? Sure, let's just talk about Dang Gosh Darn Romper. Was it shiny? I wasn't looking. No. Dang Gosh Darn Romper. What do I think about the series? I like the first game. I like the characters in the first game. It has like a certain vibe. Like it's like a game that you could totally re-release on the Nintendo 3DS, and it would fit because you could switch the 3D graphics to on, and the game would be so much better because then everything pops out. I like the whole thing where it's like, oh, the big bad person died, but then they didn't really die. You know, I like that. I can't go into too much detail because everyone has played Danganronpa 1 for like, you know, so many years. I wonder if any way did they bring back like Junko? What's her name? Inoshima Junko? For that new Danganronpa. No wait, there's 2 new Danganronpa games for the Switch. There's the one where like you're a detective and you have this little ghost friend with you. That one was like 2 or 4 years ago. I didn't hear anything about that after that Nintendo presentation. And then there was the new one where it's like, oh, you have to fight the monsters with your friends. Not friends, but like coworkers or whatever. But it's also made by the Danganronpa team. I'm just saying. You know, it's like, did that game I mean, I don't know. It's like, what does the Danganronpa community think of those games? You know what? That's what I want to know. What does the Danganronpa community think of those 2 games? Did they like them? Did they hate them? Because I know the one where you fight the monsters with your groupies. It's like what, a turn-based action game compared to standard Danganronpa, where you gotta like Phoenix write it. You know, you gotta like find out who said this, but they actually meant a different thing, and you know, it's like, actually I caught your lie. And in the second game, it's like, it's a mini game just to like choose your, it's like a full-on, like, legit mini game where it's like you actually play it, and you gotta like, how would I describe it? Because it's like, what, there's bullets, right? Or something? And you gotta like aim and then like shoot your answer. Or was that also the first game? Because I did beat the first game. But like, I only beat it because I was trying to like get all the achievos. Because, oh, let me tell you, back when I got my PlayStation 4, it's like if I bought a game, I was going to try to be Mr. Gerard the Completionist, and I wanted those platinum trophies. And I'm surprised Nintendo still hasn't done trophies and achievements yet. Dun-dun. Also, too, if you want that platinum trophy, you have to, like, build all of the characters' friendships to max. But then that also means you have to do the, for the first game, it's like, you also have to do that, like, not roulette, gachapon thing, where you try to get... What, do you do the gachapon thing? Yeah, you have to farm the money, do the gachapon, try to get the right item, and then do everything you can in each chapter to try to raise their, friendship level. And it's like... That is so tedious. I don't want to be... I'd rather only do... I did that with, I only did it with one character, because I wanted to get at least one of those achievements. What's his name? But it's the guy with the frizzy hair, and he's, like, chill. And, like, I'm like the odd player who played Danganronpa 1. And, like, I actually like that character. I only like him because of his wacky design. And then everyone else likes the other characters because they're mentally insane. Or because they're female. And that's it. What do I think of You know what? Fandoms. How about we talk about that? Fandoms. Fandoms are... They either make or break your game. You know? It's like... There's the Undertale community where it's like... Whoa, whoa. It's a story of Undertale. Or you get me, who actually likes the game, likes the characters, likes the story. Like, I like the game responsibly. I guess I could say that. I like Undertale responsibly. I still haven't played Deltarune. Because well, I'm sure, well, obviously it's also on PC. But, like, that was a game I 100%... Luckily, if you want to get, like, the Platinum Trophy for Undertale on the PS4, which is the only way I got to actually play that game, because I didn't own a laptop or PC back in high school. I did. Luckily, you only have to do, like, pacifist route, and then you go, and then what? It's like... The last thing I did to get the Platinum Trophy was, like, you find this place. It's like a hidden place, and you open it, and then there's, you help the dog or someone. It's like a dog character. And, like, you help them build their house or whatever. And I forget how you do that. But it's literally, I sat there mashing the button. And, like, within, like, what, 15 to 30 minutes, like, it's like you do a thing where you complete their little house. For some reason. I don't know if that's in the base, like, PC version. Or if that was only on the PS4 version of the game. But it's like, yeah, you help build this, like, dog character's house. And then you get achievements for that. And it's funny too, because the achievements, when you go to the PlayStation achievement screen for Undertale, like they all have like, it's like someone's trying to like someone's speaking to you or whatever, you know. It's not like oh, you know, other games like, oh, complete chapter 1, complete chapter 1, and you get this achievement, and that, like, that's literally the title of the achievement. Whereas, like, the titles of the achievements on the Undertale, like, PS4 game, it's like, I don't know. There's something where it's like you literally waste your time doing something, and it's like, did you really waste your time completing this? And it's like you get the achievement. I don't know. It's like goofy humor, but like it's not. I'm not gonna laugh at that humor though. Who's playing Minecraft? Surely not my mom. Oh, Elise. You're not a shiny. Gosh darn, dude. I hope the music is loud enough. I'm looking at my OBS thing while playing Pokemon, and I mean the OBS, the volume level looks fine, or at least I hope it is. Oh, but let me tell you, Undertale is just... Yeah, I don't know how I don't really... you know... Yeah. Just the whole fandom. Whereas me and the Banjo-Kazooie community, we are coping. And always coping. Except I, all over Twitter and Google, I'm always saying, oh, these people are in the talks of a new Banjo-Kazooie. It could be coming soon. Buddy, I've been hearing that for the past 10 years. Coming soon, there could possibly be a new Banjo. No. I wish. If Microsoft won't even finish whatever this new Perfect Dark game is, if they don't announce another thing within the next 2 years of that Perfect Dark game, then it's like, what hope do we have for a new Banjo? You know? Also, it's like I have my headphones on and I'm literally, it's like I'm screaming. And I shouldn't be. There we go. Just put my headphones on my neck and I can actually talk right. I can actually talk. Ugh, now my throat hurts. I shouldn't be talking that much because I literally... I get that... Yesterday? Yes. Yesterday I got that feeling where it's like you wake up and your throat is extra dry and it burns a little. And you know what that means. When it burns a little, it's because you're going to have a sore throat within the next 24 hours. And, I'm gonna pray that with all this food and all this like drinks and stuff that I bought after work today, I'm gonna pray that if I have myself a good meal, it won't fully develop because, you know, only, you know, getting to work 2 days or getting the next 2 days off. Like this always happens. It always happens before I get like a special event where we have like multiple, like more than 2 days off for work, and then I have to spend those days being sick. And it's like, I just want to be normal. I want my health to be normal. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to have to be stuck in my bed and hurting. And, or even like hurting in general. I hate it. Okay. Let me take a bite real quick. Ah, gosh darn. I need to buy like earbuds, not AirPods, standard earbuds that have the wire. And I probably need to buy like a cheap one because it's like, I love my headphones. I've always preferred to wear headphones over earbuds Cause it's like you put earbuds in your ear, you take them out after like 30 minutes, and you've got like earwax on them, and it's like, ugh, I don't want that. But like, I need something where I can like, with one ear, I can hear myself, and on the in the other ear, I can what can I do? Oh, and then I can hear my music. That's what I want. Like, I need an easy way to like listen to my own music while also streaming while playing anything. I should probably like put on screen something that says like ask anything. Ask anything, but not anything. You know, so I also need to make my also like literally back in like the end of December, like I wanted to make an overlay. And okay. What is it? Is it full? No, it's desktop. Sure, we'll do this. This is more interesting than the other thing. This, you know what? This is more interesting to look at. This is interesting to look at. You know what? You know what I also can do? I can also put this. Yay. Let me make that small, that bigger. Sure. I mean, it's definitely something. It's like, you know what? This is my overlay. Except I want this to be better. I need to make this, well, I don't need to, but I mean, it's literally my, it's literally just my, like, start soon desktop. Isn't that so fun to look at? But not really. You're not a shiny. Okay, no. I didn't like randomly not look while it wasn't a shiny, did I? Did I do that? Who said that? Urkel. Urkel said that. I never watched an episode of Urkel. Can I make a poll? Oh, here we go. Who is more popular? Here we go. This is a way to engage my audience. Chat's gonna hate me if I don't spell this right. Nah, yeah, I was right. I was right the first time. I was gonna do it like this. Or is it like... Yeah, there we go. Or... Isn't it like E-U-R... Oh no, it's just Urkel. What was that? Family Matters? That's not Family Matters, is it? It is Family Matters! Oh my god, I knew. Yeah, or Family Matters, sure. Sure. It's like, what kind of... Someone's gonna show up and be like, what stupid poll is this dude talking about? So stupid. You know what? No, this is my kind of humor. I like to do that. Oh, I killed off my viewers. That's so fun. It's so fun when you kill off your own viewers. Oh, Steve Urkel. Did I do that? Oh, that's so hilarious. Did I can't get it out of my head. See? I remember that more than I do born and raised. Up to world nine mode my praise something. Shooting some people no time. I can remember funny Steve Urkel more than I do the Fresh Prince. Who is that? That's Julia. Is it Julia White or Julian White that plays Steve Urkel? Because that's the same person that voices Sonic and the other, like, and Sonic's siblings in, in Sonic Underground. Sonic Underground. Oh wait, no, I gotta put my string back. It's not yellow. Ah yes, Black Baby. I want Zerkatry. I love Zerkatry. It is a wonderful character that everyone, I believe, should love. Oh man. I love how I say, who is more popular? And then I just put the two titles of the TV shows. And I just put the two titles of the TV shows. How much of a goof I am. You know what? I should put more. I should totally put more titles like this. No, I'm not a. Oh wait, I have to do this so my stream stays on this. What if I? You know what? Sure. There you go. Wow. This is truly. This is true love we're making. This is true love we're making all the time. Dude, I remember that more, that theme. I associate it more with like was it Super Best Friends? Or Two Best Friends plays? I'm pretty sure they went by Super Best Friends later in their channel. And they with Matt, Pat, and Wooly, they formed what was it? Friday Night Fisticuffs, and that was their intro. And let me tell you, growing up, that was like the greatest thing you could like. It's like I go to like get home from school, they upload a new Friday Night Fisticuffs, and it's like, oh baby. That's also how I got into JoJo when they released that video, the Heritage for the Future, when they played that. It's like I got into JoJo before like it got into the mainstream media, back like in high school when all the memes and stuff started showing up. You know what? That's what I don't like. I don't like mainstream media. That's unfortunately the type of person I like. That's also why I don't like Skibidi Toilet, and that's also why I don't like, I never liked, like, I didn't like the whole, like, Whippin' Nene stuff. Like, the like, all that stuff that came from, Vine, you know. When I think of Vine, I think of Vine Sauce. I don't think of that stupid app that everyone just like, oh, look at this trend. Let's do this thing at school, and you're so cool because you did this trend. Because it's a trend. I'm sorry, but I'm the one guy that just doesn't like trends. And that does not make me a what do you call it? What do you call it? A contrarian. That doesn't make me a contrarian. I'm also just a random voice on the internet, so don't believe everything I say. Don't take my opinions with a grain of salt. And then there's the one person that's gonna make a twit longer saying, this one streamer, I randomly joined their stream and they said they didn't like this. Now I'm mad and I'm fussing over it all over Twitter. We should ratio this streamer and make him feel bad about himself, and then we feel good while making them feel bad about themselves. And it's like, dude, can you do anything other than that? That's unfortunately like a reality we live in, that people will just be like that. They just feed off of other people's like negativity, and they just you know you know. Oh wait, the music ended, didn't it? I'm just talking inside. Oh no. It's just really low music. Yeah, let me put my it's summer. Oh god. Oh no, someone did make a twit longer about me, but not really. I'm just joking, chat member. And my chat's member in Christianity. Dude, I'm telling you, once we finally get this shiny Arceus, we can go back to Legend. We can go back to Legends Arceus. Shiny hunt for the shiny Hisuian. Alpha shiny Hisuian Electrode. Or Voltorb. And then I can go back to training my Pokemon. And then I can go back to competitive Pokemon. Because I'm tired. I just want them. I just want these shiny Pokemon. Billions must smile. I legit thought that was the funniest thing in the world. When I came home from work one day, I was like, you know what would be so funny? Instead of that billions must die photo, Chuddy, I make, instead of an angry Chud, I make a smile Chud. And I go to what's it called? I go to Clip Studio and then I make a smile Chud. And then I drew one, and then here he is. Also, after beating the Legends Arceus story mode, I can't look at Arceus the same way. Now they just look like that one. I like how, despite the fact I beat the story mode, I don't know the names of, like, the Cynthia-looking characters. And I guess that doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter because really, when I play Pokemon, I'm playing the games so I can get my Pokemon, EV train them, get the egg moves I want, and then and then battle online. And then when I find out my team that I made is not good, then I go and make another batch and train another batch of Pokemon. And then I try to mix and match, and then I do that until I fill up like 5 to 7 different boxes full of fully trained Pokemon. And then I try to mix and match my teams until I finally get a team that actually works in singles. I don't like doubles because doubles is too much for me to handle. What was it? Regulation H? Yes, Regulation H. I'm pretty sure Reg H was the one where it's like, you can only use Pokemon who aren't legendaries, aren't mythicals, and certainly aren't Paradox Pokemon. And dude, my teams swept. I got to Master Ball rank for the first time in my life. And I was so happy. I just realized it's not a shiny. Okay. Eat some of my noodle because I'm hungry. It's also 10:07. So I'm gonna end the stream at 12. And I have to because I have to take care of my body. You wanna go outside? You wanna go outside, Lily? You go potty? No, my dog's just looking at me. My dog is looking at me like I'm weird. You know what I do want to play next? Music wise. So we still got all these songs. We're playing MM2 wood. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Turn that up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Suffer as I have. I can't believe the original video it was either taken down or the account deleted itself. What is this? Epic Dark Soundtracks. Oh, they're being serious. They're not memeing. No. Oh, I love you. I love MM2 Wood. You can show that to me any day of the week and I will love. Yes. That's exactly what I wanted. This should never get you taken down because it's a MIDI. It's a MIDI. You know what? Let me turn it up. I don't care. I'm turning this up. I have never listened to Skrillex, unironically. That's what I'm talking about, baby. I will only, and plus, I mean, oh man, I think back then, even my brother liked it. My brother likes, you know, normal Skrillex. Skrillex was really big around the, like, what was their thing? LMFAO, the, party rock, you know, party rock is in the house tonight. Is that what it's called? Party rock, the song? I don't know. Because Skrillex was definitely that time. You know who was also around that time? Imagine Dragons. I want to see this one next. That's what I'm talking about. You know what? Let me full screen that. So someone just shows up and is like, what is that? See, this is what you do to attract viewers. This is gaming content. Bam. Bam. And you might ask me, why don't you ever play real music? What do you mean? This is real music. Okay, but like if you ever do actually like ask me that while I'm literally shiny hunting, dude, I am shiny hunting. This is the most boring thing you could ever do with your life. But the payoff is hype. Because that means you get bragging rights. Especially if you're shiny hunting something that's like extremely rare. And I need Skrillex MIDI version to keep myself entertained, or else I will die of boredom. I love how most of this stream has just been me complaining. And you know what? I bet that's what people like. I bet people like it when other people I bet it would. I bet people. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. Cause it sounds like a Doom song. You know, Doom 1. Ah, reggae. This page is in Swedish. Translate it using Google Toolbar. Not in Swedish. Help us improve. Ah, Joey, I love you, Bark Joey. You know what? For a moment there, no, it's not a shiny. I thought it was a shiny for a second. Oh, this is beautiful. This truly is music. I say, this must be loud on your end. I'm definitely just like, ugh. Oh, what is? Oh, let me look at this. Hita tirgugu snabare uppdatera din standardskok motor. Okay. Nij tak. Plus du sok bilder maps play. What was that? What is that? What is that terrible sound? Oh my god. Bonzi buddy, is that you? Bonzi, what did you do? That is terrible. I was like, oh, I thought this was gonna be standard reggae version, MIDI of Darude, and then this awful sound shows up, as if you haven't been listening to an awful sound already. Hint, hint, my voice. YouTube Nierter Gmail Mer and loga in it's nabirat at surfa pa internet. Oh, that's beautiful. Remember when Google used to look like this, and anytime you'd click a link or click like the back button, it would make that click sound. And then you realize, oh, this whole art style of Windows XP or Windows, no, this is like Windows 7 or Windows XP. I don't know. But it's literally just what is it called? Fruitiger Arrow, and I love it. I love it so much because I have a Skios.net wireless mouse plus mouse pad. Best thing in the world. Honestly, that's an amazing combination, I would say. Oh, my ears. My ears are being assaulted. And it's beautiful. This is truly gaming content. You know, gaming content at its finest, I would say. Oh, I really want this shiny arc to show up tonight. gonna say? What was I gonna say? I'm sure chat wouldn't mind if I watched a Blunder stream on my stream.
Just lose. Wait, this sucks for Aurelian now because you can't switch on Glacial.
Hold on. I gotta click in.
But even then, he can't go to his
I gotta click in.
Nah, that's the fastest wide guard of all time getting clicked.
Oh shoot! Is Masters finals today? I bet you this is. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh no. Foul play not gonna do shit either. It's over.
Is this? Wow, this is it?
Because he can't even damage anything.
Oh my god.
You can spam
Really?
100 times, right? Or what? Yeah. It's not protect, right? You can just spam that shit, right? Guy like me, Thunderwave and the Pelipper too. Log in. What else are you gonna do, right? Or do you get chip, or do you get chip on the Rex? Maybe you get chip on the Rex. He doesn't need a light screen.
Wow.
Oh, he did. Yeah, so he did go for foul play. I figured. Yeah, okay.
Ugh.
He needs to chip for what's it called in the back?
What?
It's so bad, right? Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is like some ass clenching turns where you're like, oh man.
This is what Masters level looks like. Oh my god.
Well, honestly though, he didn't need to Thunderwave or really.
Oh no. Okay, I'm glad this isn't like live. This is Blunder's watching video.
I mean, I get why he T-wave though. Yeah, he's like, hey, I see Thunderwave. Nah, yeah, but when you're behind, you're like, oh, I'm fucked. Like, I need something to go my way, so I get it.
That's it.
Oh,
wow.
25% is only 25%. All right, Calyrex gets +2.
Oh my god. +2 Trick Room. Also too paralyzed. So it's like.
Pelipper hasn't even taken damage.
I mean, do you win? I mean, obviously you can be parried, but still.
But still, looks Jove. Looks beyond Jove. Because it's Flutter and Chew in the back, right? Yeah.
Is Flutter, no, the Chi Yu is, sashed.
It even has double fake out in the back, so it's like... He's cooked.
You have to, yeah, you gotta, you're, two fast mons, both paired. Yeah.
I really wonder if he foul played on the Calyrex 2 times. He could have been. Damn, this shit never got full parry.
Wait, really? There was a.
This is gonna do so much. This is gonna take it to Sash, isn't it? Oh wait, never mind.
But it's still 2 HKOs. Wow. Well, there you go. That's it. That's it.
Been there. Oh, yo, he's smiling. He's so happy. It's over, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it doesn't. Yeah, it just hits. That's it.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
It's so hard to win finals. Oh, I'm happy for his family.
I tell you, it would be amazing to be like, okay, me, I could never win like a Street Fighter tournament. Like, you see the way they schmoove, you see the way Daigo, like, you know, Like, you got people like Daigo level.
Hard to win the finals, bro.
I can't, like, but like this Pokemon, it's okay. I hate using legendaries. I hate using these mythicals and all this. But literally,
That's tough.
if
That's
I
a
want to
tough
win,
spot.
I have to
That's
use
a tough.
these
That's really tough.
mons. That's crazy.
That's a tough game 3, right?
But you
Dude,
see how
that's
that
so
goes.
tough. Man, that's
Like, it, freaking Ice Rider kills 2,
that was sick. That was sick.
gets a sharply boost, you know, gets the +2 attack,
Other games that I have this one,
and then that's it.
which
It-
Boy Force told me this is like an amazing game. You know this game?
Oh my
No,
god.
I don't know this game. I know the other game.
You know this game?
We're gonna pick that, but
This one's
I do know this game.
53 minutes is damn long, though. We gotta watch this
Yeah.
one.
Crazy.
Dude, that final was sick, though. That final was sick.
Which ones you like most? Of the 3?
This one was amazing because of mouse hold.
What?
This one, I like the plays in I think this one, Gavin versus Yosuke.
one's so
I think I like this one the most, bro.
I think it's so well played.
Yeah,
Wow,
I feel
someone's
they both
dying
had,
tonight.
like,
Frickin'
both of the
neighbors.
teams had a lot of mons that could destroy the other one, and then I liked how game 3 came down to the Amoongus.
Look at that,
versus
Terra
Amoongus.
Stellar, because you know
in
you
game
need,
three, like,
you know
how
your
they both
typing is
ended up wanting to
amazing.
bring the But I like that both of them in the first 2 games did not even worry about the Amoongus. They just went for the full like offense on offense approach. Right?
I also just love the fact that Yosuke had the balls to attack the Urshi.
Yes, on the double protect, right? Because he knows that, like, dude, that's like you got nothing to lose type play. Like, you have to make that play, bro, because it's like, bro, you're going home if you don't make that play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo,
He was ready to show his best. It's crazy.
dude, that was sick. That was fucking sick. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. It's a little 2.5
Crazy.
hour stream.
It's all good.
Guys, we will come back to this in a couple of days, and I'll go over other series. But the series today that we watched were sick. All of these. Also, shout outs to this guy Nicholas for winning his first regional. The lore behind that was phenomenal.
And Mouse go the first.
Yeah, Mouse House.
Yes,
In
sir.
the next stream, we'll be labbing more. I'll watch these. We gotta watch Marco Fierro games because that's Auntie's favorite player.
Oh yeah.
That's Auntie's favorite player, so we gotta watch more of his
Marco
games.
Fierro
Yeah.
Marco Fierro Glazing Day is coming.
Yeah. Don't worry. We gonna watch Marco Fierro's games. I know that's your goat, so we're gonna watch his shit soon. Anyways, we hope y'all enjoyed. Drop a like, sub, all of that. We'll be back soon with more. Have a good night, morning, whatever it is for y'all. Take
You know
care.
what? Sure, let's put on the Pokemon VGC 2025. Let's put that up. Okay, day 2 Milwaukee. I forget where I've been. Yeah. Oh my god, there he is. There he is.
That is amazing to have to think about there. But walking back through some of the highlights of this year's, I think also just losing the group on it right away and then going in like with all of that damage onto the Ursaluna, it really did feel like Blue was already back against the wall with a lot of these trick room turns. Kind of got a good KO onto the Iron Hands with that critical hit from the Moongeist beam. So like not 100% sure whether or not that was a critical hit that mattered, but it feels like it with Assault Vest.
It very well could have. You know, that Assault Vest is a very powerful item on an already bulky Pokemon like Iron Hands. We also saw Lou having, you know, despite having that trick room set up and getting in a good spot, that wild charge damage meant that he had to take some more risks throughout that trick room, like going for that Facade plus Meteor Beam into the Iron Hands that didn't swap out, trying to catch a possible Ho-Oh. Maybe if you're in a position where
Joey!
you have, you know, a little bit
Joey Pokey-Aim, baby!
off and making a better use of that trick room setup. So I think that game could have gone a very different way, given maybe 1 or 2 turns of different choices from either player. But Joey immediately, with the really strong reads, putting his foot directly on that gas pedal in that first game, we get to see how Lou tries to adjust. You know, how do you take all that offense into consideration, especially when Joey's already shown that he's willing to make these big plays and try and punish some more safer options on their end.
And how safe do you feel to try to run back the trick room strategy because of the speed tier that Ho-Oh sits?
true. That is really good information.
Right? Like, the Ho-Oh is actually faster in Trick Room than the Lunala, and I think that that's not normally an interaction that we would see between those two Pokemon. You know, you called that out as well with your own Ho-Oh experience, so I'm just kind of interested to see how Lou decides to take that knowledge into the second game. So we're going to get ready for that very shortly as our trainers have locked their Pokemon for the second
Look
game.
at Joey locked in. Really, he be chilling.
One game away from moving on further into our top gut. Can Lou come back with this Lunala and Groupon combo? It's going to be the Iron Treads and Maridon here for Joey as he leaves that Iron Bundle on the bench for now.
I am so excited for this Iron Treads. I think it's a really cool option for this meta game. That typing is really, really great, especially in the Maridon Mirror, but just in general, you're doing a lot of damage with that Life Orb. You have the Quark Drive boost to speed as well, which means you're going to get to attack before a lot of the entire metagame. In this case, the knockoff is a really big threat here. This Iron Treads is not running Protect. It's got 4 attacks and a Life Orb, so you're threatening a big knockoff into that Lunala, not only for the damage, but for removing the Power Herb, which takes away your ability to use Meteor Beam and with your special attack. Might see another turn of Rage Powder here from the Brute Bonnet just to make sure that Lunala doesn't lose its Power Herb, take a lot of damage in return. But what does the Lunala do after that?
Could just go for Trick Room again. I think with the Iron Treads.
Oh, actually, I just realized, no, it can't spore because of, terrain. So, like, what? Is it going to try to go for a sucker? Nah, Rage Powder. No, say that too. Yeah. Oh, super effective.
Try to get around that Rage Powder as well to get that spread type damage and break the Shadow Shield on Lunala as it does go for Trick Room once again.
Trick Room goes right back up and Iron Hands comes right back in just like we saw in that first game. So Trick Room is nice to make sure that Maridon and in this case Iron Treads aren't attacking first. Now you just gotta deal with this Iron Hands. You know, you don't have your boosted Lunala, you don't have those Moongeist beams doing the maximum damage. And you've also kind of set up Trick Room for Iron Hands, which is a slower Pokemon. You do have the benefit of the Covert Cloak on Brute Bonnet, so it's not going to be faked out this turn, but depending on how these Pokemon are treated, it might just get knocked out by a Fighting type move instead. I don't know if that's a trade you're willing to make this early on into the game. The electric terrain also kind of stymieing some of Lou's plans here because one of Brute Bonnet's strengths is its access to
Yeah, I feel like you have to, like, try to go for a bit more damage. But, like...
Well, Lunala is going to get out of there. It's Ursaluna's time to hit the field. Maybe Brute Bonnet is enough of a threat that this Ursaluna gets a chance to come in without taking too much damage. Sucker Punch into Maridon actually does quite a bit to this Pokemon. But unfortunately, Brute Bonnet going to get knocked out for its troubles as the Drain Punch is going to be the attack that finishes the job. Lou now has to take this dazzling
Look at that. And now it's at less than... No, wait, no, because it activated the flame, so it doesn't take you know, burn damage.
Now Ursaluna's in the field and is able to start threatening some big damage with those guts boosted attacks. We've seen earlier on in this tournament the combination of Ursaluna and Lunala being a great way to get guaranteed earthquake damage. You have 2 Pokemon weak to ground type attacks along with that Iron Treads in the back. One Earthquake should be able to knock out Maridon, but probably not Iron Hands thanks to it being so bulky. And as you can kind of see there, the access to the Water Terra as well to possibly remove that weakness. But the Wide Guard on Lunala could protect it from its partner's Earthquake, while also protecting the Ursaluna from the Dazzling Gleam, which that Maridon has locked into. We're still in a spot as well where Ursaluna could terrestrialize into a Ghost type. We've seen Joey willing to punish that before earlier on in this set. But it's going to be a tough call for Lou here to see if that also happens again.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could try to go for it again. Maybe thinking, oh, if you're Lou, surely he doesn't go for this a second time. But Joey thinks better of it, decides to bring in the Iron Treads. Maybe it's going to at least help Joey to reset some positioning.
Look at that.
Ursaluna does go for the Wide Guard, keeping this Ursaluna safe from an incoming Dazzling Gleam. Ursaluna can also just go for Earthquake here, which is going to be stopped from hitting this Lunala with the Wide Guard, but it's going to hit everything else. So a double KO secured here for Lou very early on in this game too.
I really like that play a lot from Lou. You're kind of saying, I bet you're not going to, you know, try and go for that wild charge play or again, or maybe you are. But either way, I'm getting this guaranteed damage out. You know your Ursaluna is attacking before the Iron Hands and Trick Room, so worst case
And, you know, that's the thing also, too. It's like... Wide Guard. That's a move I never really, because I strictly only play singles, so it's like I don't know when to ever actually try to use someone who with wide guard. Because it's like, why not, you know, oh, someone sees you have wide guard, why not just, like, isn't my opponent just gonna try to, like, sorry. Isn't my opponent just going to attempt to, you know, just, like, do both my opponent's Pokemon, then focus on one Pokemon? It's like I don't know how to do those, you know.
On the Ursaluna, it's a really tough call here, but I think Joey's gonna try to go for the risky play again. Oh, gotta go quickly here with the lock-ins.
This is a really tough call here. It looks like he might have timed out. We do get the terrestrialization anyway. It looks like it's going to be from Luz, and probably going to be that Ursaluna turning into a ghost type.
And so, did Joey actually lock into the wild charge here? Because if it happens again, I would have 2 nickels, which would be actually a lot in this particular situation. Ursaluna gets to move first, though.
That doesn't kill Hams.
Taking enough to actually take it with the wild charge to go back. The Ursaluna gets knocked out, but I think the recoil from the Iron Hands is also going to look quite tight if this Iron Hands is going to get knocked out as well. It looks like it's barely going to be able to survive this turn as Ho-Oh goes for the Sacred Fire.
Does it burn?
Lunala, but
Oh, wow, with the burn.
You know, not going to help too much because it's Lunala with special attack, but just goes right for the Moongeist Beam. Going to take care of this Iron Hands. Not even trying to go for the Meteor Beam play. With the Trick Room turns expiring, Lunala might get a chance to do that later.
It might have a chance, but, you know, this Ho-Oh we've seen attack before Lunala in Trick Room, and if Koraidon is Luz's last Pokemon, it might still be a tough game to win for him because, you know, Koraidon is a very, very powerful Pokemon. Just unfortunately doesn't have too many attacks that can hit Ho-Oh for neutral damage. The flying typing and the fire typing on Ho-Oh.
I was like, don't you have to?
Fighting attacks coming out from Koraidon, and Lunala doesn't have Protect either. Ho-Oh has the chance to go straight for an attack into Lunala here and maybe knock it out. The Terra Grass hover there is a little bit risky. You would reduce damage coming through from the Meteor Beam, but if Koraidon gets a Flare Blitz off, you just go on a KO.
Well, you've got to make a big call here because maybe lose out is just to get the knockout onto the Ho-Oh, but this can all get derailed. If Lou decides to go for a Protect on
I mean, yeah, the Protect is so scary.
some damage regardless. Let's see how this turn plays out. This could be one play away from Joey moving on to another round of our top cut as this Ho-Oh gets that Grass Terra to keep himself a little bit safer from a Meteor Beam. What did Lou lock into for the rest of the
Oh my god! Oh my god, Koraya's dead.
But does the Lunala do enough damage where Lou can actually win the 1v1 between these 2 Pokemon? The Lunala can still dish out some damage with the Meteor Beam. You're gonna get that +1 to your special attack. But Lunala is on so much less HP than what you would be comfortable with. When the power recharges up, it does actually hit into the Ho-Oh.
Oh my god, Ho-Oh just tanks that.
Might decide it here. Lunala takes a little bit more chip damage from the burn, and then Twisted Dimensions do return to normal. So Lou, knowing that, is very comfortable going for that play that he did. Knowing that if Lunala gets knocked out, he gets at least 2 attacks off with Koraidon, and despite the resistances, that might be enough. But since the Koraidon was the target of the Ho-Oh, got knocked out by the Brave Bird, the combination of Brave Bird recoil, the Meteor Beam, and now a +1 Moongeist Beam might be enough for the KO on Ho-Oh. Now I think Joey might be going for maybe a 5 protects in a row to try and knock itself out with a burn. Maybe one of the best ways here. I think the +1 Moongeist Beam is probably going to be enough, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, five protects in a row might just do it, but I think you've got to try to play to the out. You see the out, you may as well try to go for it.
What?
You can see Lou trying to catch up with Joey here. If you get 3 more, then maybe that will do the job. The probability of that is so slim to none.
I think it might be like 2 or 3 more protects, maybe even 4.
You could hear the crowd chanting for it.
I think it's gonna happen. Give me 5 in a row.
Oh my
Let's
gosh,
do it.
could you imagine?
Oh, I was about to say.
For the 3rd time. So the Moongeist Beam from Luz Lunala is going to try to get the
Oh, that's so funny.
It does. We go to a
Yes, sir, Joey.
Twice, I believe we saw, which is not an easy play to make. In the second game, it made a lot more sense. I think it was even more likely that Lou went for that terrestrialization because he wanted to dodge the possible fake out as well. But Lou was able to get enough damage out with that Ursaluna, especially after I think the crucial turn there was the Earthquake into the Miraidon and the swapped in Iron Shreds for those 2 KOs. It just meant that Joey had a lot less flexible of options going throughout the rest of that game, and Lou timed that Trick Room perfectly. Went for that Meteor Beam at the very last chance to make sure Hoa was in range for a +1 Moongeist Beam to finish off the match.
Yeah, like the Wide Guard and Earthquake interaction is just so interesting to watch play out. Lunala being able to click that not just to deny the Dazzling Gleam, but to also be able to protect itself from the side Earthquake. And Lou securing that double KO really did put him into an excellent position for the rest of the game. But Joey sure did bring that down to the wire with the triple to quintuple protect option to actually win it out. But we go to a very decisive game 3.
If that actually happened,
I think
the venue would have erupted.
I think so.
We would have had the loudest cheer from any crowd in Pokemon history if that had ever come
I think that
through.
might be like maybe the first quintuple protect in the series for a top-cut match too. So very exciting way to try to end things, but let's jump into it. Both trainers really looking forward to moving on to yet another
Alrighty.
and one game is going to decide it all. Is it going to be Lou Village or is it going to be Joey Pokegame that gets the win and moves forward? For Lou, it's going to be that Lunala and Brute Bonnet, and Joey's running back those same leads from game number 1 with the Iron Bundle making a reappearance.
As cool as the Iron Shreds is, I think Bundle is a little bit more useful in this matchup. Access to that ice type damage to threaten damage into Brute Bonnet's always nice. And of course the Iron Shreds is a little bit of liability against that Ursaluna. We saw it just get 1 KO'd by that Earthquake. So not necessarily something that you want to be leaving on the field.
Ooh. Well, Brute Bonnet is just going to leave and immediately go for the Ursaluna, which has to take a freeze dry as it comes in. It already gets so low as the Volt Switch goes into the Lunala, but could you imagine how devastating that could have possibly been? But the Miraidon getting out of there with full HP is great when you have the immediate switch into the Iron Hands, and Lunala probably setting up Trick Room as you see this Ursaluna hit.
It's got to be a Trick Room coming through here, and this is a bit of a dream scenario. Again, you want that Ursaluna to swap in, activate the guts as Trick Room goes up. It did unfortunately have to take that freeze dry coming in, and Lou is definitely trying to catch another electric type attack into that slot. If he was able to lock that Miraidon on the field as he was unable to use Volt Switch, this would have been a very, very good position for him. Unfortunately, he doesn't get as good of a turn as he might want it, but do get the Trick Room set up still. Again, we're in this position where do you go straight for the Wild Charge into the Ursaluna? Do you try and play it safe? Do you want to terrestrialize that Ursaluna? Now we've seen 2 Wild Charges into a row. It's going to be really tough.
I think it's actually quite safe to do what Joey is going for. You know that this Lunala has actually taken a lot more damage than it probably would have liked. You still have your terrestrialization to be able to...
Like I said, this is doubles. I just don't know what to do.
If you do see the Lunala go for Wide Guard,
Excuse
then
me.
that's 2 attacks that's going towards the Iron Bundle, so the Focus Sash would be able to keep it safe. As Ursaluna goes for Protect. So Lou knows, like, Ursaluna is definitely in a dangerous territory, but that leaves Lunala wide open to get knocked out to the Wild Charge. And so Lou, just like that, loses the restricted Pokemon right away.
A really safe play from Joey there, as you mentioned. Going for that Wild Charge into Lunala. Because the Shadow Shield was broken by the Volt Switch, the combination of the electric terrain boosting the power of Wild Charge and the Quark Drive ability boosting the attack of Iron Hands should have been more than enough to KO that Lunala, which ensures that your Iron Bundle doesn't get hit by 2 attacks this turn, which then ensures that you can go for that freeze dry into the Ursaluna. Brute Bonnet comes in here now. You do have the option to kind of protect that Ursaluna from any attacks. The Iron Bundle does have Icy Wind, which often isn't something you want to use in Trick Room, but will bypass the Rage Powder from Brute Bonnet. So because of that Ice type weakness,
Yeah.
Iron Bundle has a pretty respectable special attack stat. This Rage Powder can't protect the Ursaluna from the Iron Bundle anymore.
Yeah,
The Iron Ursaluna, that's what I'm talking about.
Brute Bonnet does have that Water Terra as well. At least that would be a defensive choice for Lou to lock into, but he has opted to go for the Ghost Terra onto the Ursaluna in these other games and decides to go for a 3rd time in a row here during the set. So this Brute Bonnet is stuck as a Dark type and a Grass type. It's very susceptible to what could be coming next. Rage Powder as the Brute Bonnet wants to protect this Ursaluna as its partner, but that's going to mean that the Iron Hands get to direction.
Mm.
And back up to full as well.
Oh wait, as long as Iron Bundle hits both.
But that HP recovery is enough to make sure that this Iron Hand survives to the end of the turn as Icy.
Oh my gosh, the fact that it, well then again, if it's hitting both opponents, then the damage does go down.
Ursaluna has left when it's going to be taking
The base power is less.
end of this turn. Very close.
Barely hangs on after that burn recoil, but the drain punch there being just enough recovery to get the Iron Hands back up to full, such that Facade is not able to win a KO it. And again, Iron Bundle's
Does Trick Room end now, or did it just start now?
of evidence or point there for the Iron Bundle because it can't be knocked out unless you double target it.
Right, but we also saw the speed drop come through from the Icy Wind. Since it didn't actually finish off the Ursaluna, it is now going to be the fastest Pokemon in Trick Room. Typically would have looked at the Iron Hands and said, well, you definitely have enough here with another Wild Charge, but you can't do that anymore. Joey knows, though, that the Trick Room turns are starting to expire. You got to start thinking about what you're going to do once those are over. Lou is stuck with this Ursaluna that only has one more turn left in this game because of the burn damage that will knock it out at the end of the turn. And you
I say you still got the Miraidon in the back, and as soon as Trick Room ends, like, there you go.
The Ursaluna will go down to the
You know what? Yeah, that's
Lou will just
yeah.
have this Koraidon left. And we've seen Joey bring that Ho-Oh the first two
Crazy.
games. There's no reason to believe he wouldn't this third game. And Ho-Oh with one Wraithbird will likely be able to lock it up.
Oh!
Koraidon. That is apparently a very heavy Pokemon.
Wow, look at that.
So much damage from that, and with a double target into this Iron Bundle.
And that's it for yeah. I was gonna say at the end of the turn, that's it for Ursa.
Turn, and Koraidon is so low. Lou is down to just one Pokemon, which is going to be the only thing that stands in Joey's way from moving on further into this top cut. What an incredible run Joey has had so far at this event.
Did it really not end yet? Huh?
Pokemon Regional, and he's putting on an incredible performance.
Congrats to Joey jumping into top 16 here in Milwaukee. With all that singles experience, it's not surprising.
Joey, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
We've seen plenty of players, win their first
Nah.
and maybe Joey adds his name to that list.
Oh wait. Hold on.
Crowd going wild.
Maybe Joey adds his name
Oh wait. There it was. Hold on.
intended, and maybe Joey
There it is. The image that went all over Twitter.
adds his name to that list, Rosemary.
You can hear the crowd going wild for him. Oh my goodness. Everybody that has had different forms of competitive experience, being able to play with multiple different types.
Like Joey being so humble.
Justin Tang is one of those players. Michael Kelsch is also another one of those players that comes in with so much additional competitive experience for Pokemon, and then tries out their first VGC event and does that well. Yeah, that's the formula, I guess.
It's awesome to see, and with so much competitive experience, I'm sure that Joey's thrilled to make it this far in the tournament. You can also kind of see there on his face, he's very happy to have won that match, and as the crowd was cheering for him, you can also tell he knows it's not nearly done. So he made it to top 16 now, which is a fantastic result for anyone, much less someone entering a new format for the first time. But he's going to win 4 more matches to make it to that championship, and I think he's very familiar with that and is ready to lock in for the remainder of this top cut.
Well, I mean, I feel like he navigated that match beautifully, and I think looking back on it, maybe this was a little tough for Lou to have to run this Trick Room option into the Pokemon that Joey has.
Crazy.
One of the reasons why Ho-Oh really has looked very good in this tournament is because it has a fantastic matchup into a lot of the top restricted Pokemon that were used. I think Lou has quite a few of them on the team where you've got Iron Hands as well as the Ho-Oh that's going to be putting in a lot of work against what Lou has just in general on the team.
The Iron Hands in particular was a huge part of this match for Joey. The Trick Room was pretty easy to guarantee set up with Lou there. There was really no way to prevent that Trick Room from going up, especially next to that Brute Bonnet with the Rage Powder support. With Iron Hands being there to make sure that, I actually have something very slow as well. I'm going to be attacking first and Trick Room with this Iron Hands. I'm also setting up the electric terrain to boost the Quark Drive, so I know you want the Trick Room.
Hold on, who's slower? Iron Hands. Duplicate. And then Hariyama. 50. Isn't it like 57 speed? No, they're both 50. Oh, and then look at that. 570 versus 474. 120 versus 140. And it has higher HP, higher defense. Higher. So yeah, it's just a better overall. Well, actually, we say that. But look at this dude. He got that sheer force and he got that guts. But what does any of that matter when you can just, like, automatically boost your attack with booster energy? You know. He gets all the punching moves. Yeah, obviously. Play rough. Like dangerous stuff. Like play rough, heavy slam. So I get there's wild charge. Me, I'm the type of person that will go for Supercell Slam. I'm gonna risk that 95% chance. Even if it costs me the game, I will. I mean, body press is certainly like an option with 108. You know? My main thing is like this dude, the fact that they gave him a headlong rush as a move that you can just freaking, it's crazy. Maybe I should try to put Hariyama, because I love using Hariyama. Why would this thing have brine? The fact that they took away smelling salts and like wake up slap off from his like moveset. Cause like it's egg moves, it does get a wide guard. You know, bullet punch. I feel like bullet punch is like a big thing. You know. I'm the type of guy that would bring my... I will bring a Hariyama. Because you know why? I'm going to slap a... That's what I like to do. I like to do guts. Okay. Wait. Okay. Let's say this. I go for... If I'm going for like a trick... You know what? I just realized Sheer Force can boost... Poison Jab. It also boosts my other punches. So I got Ice Punch. Poison Jab is... I mean, who am I attacking with Poison Jab, honestly? Let's see. Is there really a ground move that I can... Because it's like... You know, I could do like a flame... Or if I want my... You know, like... Hold on. Sheer Force is approximately 30%. Guts is 50%. So it's like, oh, you switching out. There's, I mean, that's what it is in Trick Room. It's like, then you switch it in with Flame Orb. And then like it's like, yeah, I mean that's okay, but that's the thing. You got knockoff knockoff bullet punch. I mean to get that, I mean 50%. 50%, then you might as well you use Earthquake over headlong. This is hypothetically if I'm wanting to use Hariyama, because I do love Hariyama. The fact that it's basically just like the one and only like sumo Pokemon And then there's like future sumo Pokemon. I mean, both obviously get heavy slam. I'll say against Lunala, I'm using knockoff. Both have knockoff, don't they? It would make sense that he doesn't have knockoff. Because you know why? He's an OU Mon. He is an OU slash Ubers Mon. He would be nigh unbeatable if he had knockoff. Which is why Hariyama has knockoff. Throat chop. Stone. Both get Stone Edge, don't they? Really? You don't get any rock. You get Rock Tomb, but no. Okay, you get Rock Slide. There you go. So you get Rock Slide. But you get stuff like Iron Head, though. You also get Iron Head. You certainly, yeah. I'll say you're freaking a robot. You do not get the poison move, whereas you get the poison move. But your main thing, buddy, your main thing is under terrain. Wire Charge is crazy. Slash Supercell Slam is crazy. Cork Drive, obviously your attack is insane. That's what it is. Under the terrain, it's like that's why you do it. That's why you're crazy, because under terrain, you can also have another item. Whereas me on the other, see, this is more of a, well, both are basically a singles mon. Any mon can be a singles mon, but not all can be. Sheriff First is nice, but it's like that guts is crazy. But me, I like to do guts plus AV. But you know what? In a tournament setting, well, okay, well, I mean, there's also the T-Wave users. And honestly, if I'm gonna tear this, I'm gonna tear it to be ground. What do you go? You go for the Terra ground, or do you go for like the Terra steel? Or do I go for a Terra dark? Get that super duper knockoff off. You know? Upper hand is such a crazy move. You know, it's such a crazy move.
But actually, I'm going to use it to my advantage at the same time. Without the Iron Hands, I think Turpin goes up and Lou just kind of wins the match. So Joey very expertly recognized, I need this Iron Hands to be like my main focus here. It's kind of his restricted Pokemon, right? I don't know if Maridon did much damage. Of course, Hello was very important in taking out the
So where did my phone go? Oh, it's behind my legs.
Well, what Maridon did is what everybody thought it would do very well. Set up electric terrain and let those Cork Drive boosts really do their thing. But major credit to Lou Millage. I feel like this is just another great performance, back to back to back to back to back to back.
Back to back to back.
Yeah, like 7 times in a row, making a day 2 is just incredible, and being able to have so many conversions over to top cuts. I know it once again gets stopped short, but I believe we'll be seeing Lou at the World Championships with a record like that.
Surely at this point, he's put himself in a spot where he's very well inside that top 75 requirement to make the World Championships, and even beyond that, I'm sure that he's going to make another big top cut run, you know, sometime in his future. You don't go 6s for 6 and making day 2s without the capability of going even further, and sometimes you just hit these stumbling blocks where, you know, I got wild charged into my ground type and then took half of my HP without recognizing it, so it's going to happen for him eventually, but unfortunately not going to be here as Joey moves on to top 16.
Maybe it's going to be the next event, and sometimes it just takes that one victory, that one path to make yourself a regional champion. For Joey, that
Oh, for a moment I thought that was a shiny. Ooh, baby, that's not a shiny. What do you mean concurrent viewers? I should not have concurrent viewers. Oh, I know why. Because I clicked into my other thingamabobs. Give me a sec.
It's honestly just been how much farther he can go.
It's inspiring too, you know, if you have any experience with Pokemon, whether it's a different competitive format, whether it's, you know, just playing the main in-game, collecting all your favorite Pokemon.
I was gonna pull a drink out of the fridge, and then I saw my brisk blueberry pomegranate. I'm like, oh, this looks new. I guess I'll try it.
Joey, about that match,
Cousin
so how
Joey.
does that started on his competitive journey as we head over to an interview.
Thank you so much, Rosemary. Before I get thoughts from Joey here, I just want to get some reactions from the crowd, because I think this is the guy y'all came here to see, right? Y'all are going
Yes.
absolutely nuts for him in that match.
Joey!
Protect, they were going for the triple. I kept hearing everybody chant, 3, 3, 3. They were on your side. You were going 6. I mean, to be fair, if their DS turned off and that was your win condition, that'd be quite the game for
Hey,
sure.
it's been mine in the past, so I understand.
So, I mean, you made it to Top Cut. When we spoke yesterday in our interview, you were just here having a good time, seeing where things led you. How does it feel?
Yesterday was crazy. I didn't think anything would happen. Today I do want to win. That's what I'm here.
Alright. So, does that mean you're feeling a little bit more pressure? Are you feeling a little bit more motivation, excitement? Like, what's the emotional switch?
I just want to have fun. I'll be honest, that last game was so fire. And there were 50-50s the whole time. I hope that every game I have is like that, win or lose. I do want to have a good time, but like I said, I'm going for the top. There's a lot of good matchups coming up too. I hope they all knock each other out. And yeah, it's nothing really changed, I would say. It's just now I'm really feeling it.
Alright. So tell me about your matches to get here to this point today. How did they go?
So I had some pretty solid matches. You're talking about Swiss today, right?
Yeah, Swiss today.
I had some pretty solid matchups. My last game itself was versus Keanu.
Okay.
And he's a really accomplished player, very good, very nice guy as well. Like he deals with my yapping. I talk the entire game. I'll be on when we play. So he deals with it. He was really nice answering my questions, even during pivotal turns, which I guess was all my fault. But I had a really good matchup into Calyrex Shadow Rider Zamazenta, I felt anyway. And it kind of just played really well because he has to get turns right. And on top of that, he has to win speed ties between Chiampao and Miraidon. If they don't go well, like I can beat it with like Iron Hands.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my first game, so I actually, our Uber driver pulled up and just got away. And I had 2 minutes to get here for my game 1. So I ran up to get here, and luckily my opponent was such a kind person. They waited for me. I was like, it's been a minute since I ran. I don't want to go back no more. It's been a minute since I did some cardio like that. They were so kind. Had some phenomenal games into them as well. My round 2 opponent was a very great person as well. Had a mirror as well. And yeah, I'm so hyped to be here. I've never ever won on a PC stream, whether it be a PC, a mid-season showdown, and I don't think I've ever been on a stream in the region. I bubbled out the last region I went to 9 years ago. So it's just a great time.
I'm so glad to hear that you're having a great time, and I want to ask, going into this matchup in particular, you know, turn 0, game 1, what was your game plan? What was your strategy?
Basically, I wanted to punish if my opponent didn't go for Rage Powder, so...
Okay.
But I figured they would, so I was like, okay, let me just double attack Bonnet, get rid of it. Iron Bundle's Focus Sash this game, like obviously it's the fastest Pokemon out of every single person.
Oh, yeah.
Every single, except for like Choice Scarf, Chi-Yu with no Terreno.
Yep.
So, its Sash was like pivotal in winning this game in my opinion. So I wanted to get rid of Bonnet, Blue Bonnet immediately.
Yep.
That way I could bring in Iron Hands, because there's speed type between Ursaluna plus Iron Hands. And obviously there's also the mental game where they can tear a Ghost versus stay regular. I was very lucky throughout the entire set to get all those calls. All 50-50. I was all luck, but I'm happy it worked out, obviously. And I loved game 2 as well, where I got the call right with the Terra Grass.
Yeah.
But my win con was still my opponent missing Meteor Beam or getting 6 protects in a row. I would have been okay with either, but I would have felt worse about the first. I think the second would have been VGC history.
Yeah, it would have been history for sure, and definitely a lot of luck on your side, and maybe a couple of Paldean sandwiches for the whole afterwards. So I do want to ask you one more question before I let you go prepare for your next match. Looking back on this weekend so far, what has been the highlight for you?
Oh, meeting everybody. That's
really?
It's insane. I'm walking around and people will stop me. Joey. I do think going on stage and people saying Joey, Joey, and like the first, so the Pokemon hadn't even happened on our screen, but everybody was like, woo, and I was like, what happened? Nothing, and then I knocked out the Pokemon, and I was like, oh, no. That was a lot of fun. It has been such a great time to be here. I'm so happy to have come here, even if my subscribers did force me to come. It ended up being a great thing, and I'm doing way better than I thought I would. 0 and 8 turning into top 9 is ridiculously wild. I'm very grateful to all my friends, my friend Daniel, Nancy, my friend Tony, Roses, as well as Blunder, and just like everybody all around, and my wife, of course. Have to shout out my wife. Could not do this without her. She's back at home, missing me, and I'll be so happy to get there. But I'm so happy to be here. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much, Joey. I'm glad that your subs forced you to be here and that it's turned out to work out all right, let's say.
Yeah, it's working well. Thank you so much, and keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Best of luck in top 16. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick break while we get ready for our next match. So please stay tuned. Hey there, Pokemon trainers. I'm here with Philip Miller, who has locked his way into day 2 of the competition here in Milwaukee for the first time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a thrill. I wasn't expecting this at all today.
I mean, the fact that you weren't expecting it makes it that much better, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've done better than all my expectations today. So.
All right. Well, tell me about the team that you're running this weekend.
It's Cali Rider, it's Calyrex Shadow Rider, and it is Zamazenta, like a lot of people do. But I guess the other 4 is kind of catching some people off guard. It's got like a Sucker Punch Grimmsnarl. It's got Ditto. It's got a Whimsicott. It's got Rapid Strike Urshifu, who's pretty typical. But the rest, it's got, I guess, I've been hearing a lot of people come in and say, "Oh, I thought I knew how to handle that team," and I realized I don't know what I'm doing against this one. So I think I've kind of gotten lucky. I think I kind of found something that is working really early on in Reg I.
I mean, you say it's luck, but honestly, I think that's the trait of a good team builder. What led you to build this team? I've been years of doing it. I wanted to be doing these tournaments forever. 10 plus years ago was trying, and I've been doing lots of team building and stuff with a lot of friends. Shout out to Team Mostbred for helping me with the team, all of that. Yeah, it's just been a culmination of all sorts of learning, and plus fighting Ghosts is just a no-brainer. I don't know. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, a lot of it's just like, yep, that's going to work. So you are 6-0. Tell me about your battles that have gotten you here so far.
I actually came in pretty tired from a hard week. I just kind of had the attitude of like, let's just have some fun, and played against some really stellar opponents. I'm not going to say names because I won, so I don't want to like make anybody feel bad. But some stellar opponents. Had some really lucky moves in terms of just, I guess, luck, half prediction. You know, winning the 50-50 mind games, and just. It's just been a lot of them have just come right down white knuckle, all 3 matches, everybody just having a good time and going like, oh, at the end,
Do you have any advice for anybody out there who's looking to secure their first 6-0 day 2?
Keep trying. Luck is a big part of it. I've had lots of times where I have felt just exactly this good, and luck has derailed me. I've had good finishes, but luck keeps me out of day 2. So just keep trying, because sometimes it's just it's a game of numbers, and sometimes you're just getting unlucky with those misses, and it's just right around the corner.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Philip. Do you have any shout outs you want to give to anybody at home?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out the entire Cincinnati VGC community. They're absolutely great, have helped me grow. I'm going to shout out, obviously, like I said, Team Mostbred. I'm going to shout out all of my coworkers at the zoo. I'm going to shout out my girlfriend who's standing off to the side, and I'll shout out my parents as well. And if I've missed anybody, truly sorry, but I love you too, I promise.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations again on your accomplishment. Can't wait to see you competing tomorrow here in Milwaukee.
I'm so excited. So excited.
All right. We'll be back with more Pokemon action real soon.
It's been amazing to see Nicholas Morales' journey throughout the Baltimore Regional Championships.
My name is Nicholas Morales. Currently, I live in Georgia. What Pokemon typing would I be? I want to say the poison typing. I think the poison typing has a really good defensive toolkit. I think they have a bad rep for being kind of bad, but I think there's a lot of amazing poison types out there. I first got into competitive Pokemon when I was around middle school, actually. I found it on on the internet pretty much. It's like competitive Pokemon videos during the Platinum days. That's my first step into it. I actually skipped Gen 6 and 7, but I really picked up during Double Restricted in Swish. I really liked that VGC format. The overall strategy was just playing towards rain. You know, Archaludon, it's almost impossible to one hit. You know, you have Basket Legion 2, who's a massive threat. So multiple threats, multiple big number guys. The first time I was on stream, I felt like the crowd was kind of rooting against me. I could kind of hear them. He was doing really well for most of the match. I was sitting there like, I don't know, like I gotta focus. Like, what are you doing?
3 HP and a dream.
The second time on stream, it was over pretty quickly. It's really nerve-wracking. Like, I can keep my cool during like a high stress situation, right? Like I don't like when I was playing up on stage, I didn't really like let it get to me too much. Like maybe like my leg was shaking, but like everyone has that, right?
It's gonna be the newcomer, Nicholas Morales.
Finals, I could tell when I heard the crowd counting down the population bomb hits, I was like, okay, they're rooting for me. That's really cool.
Can it do it? Another one. Give me 2 more. Oh my goodness. This is his first tournament ever, and he wins it all!
I've never been to locals before. Well, this is my first one ever. Feels surreal. I didn't even think I would day 2, let alone put in the whole thing. My friends really kept pushing me along the way. My good friend Ming, he's really into the VGC scene. I would never have known like what EV spreads to use, common lines, team comps, or whatever. I would never know any of that without him. The power of friendship, right? But honestly, they help you push that goalpost so much more, and then you all push the goalpost together. If I don't have fun with it, I'm just not gonna play. I did a lot better than I expected to, and you know, qualify for Worlds is great. I still don't think it's real. If I were to win my first regional ever, into winning my first World ever, I would permanently retire.
It's time to kick off our Pokemon North America International Championships. And we're about to kick things off across Pokemon Go, Pokemon Unite, the Pokemon trading card game, and the Pokemon video game.
Here comes out of pocket, both switches are firing, he's gonna get the KO!
Orange Juicers getting it done, bell to bell.
There it is, the prime catcher.
Andrew Hedrick taking the win. Patrick
Through the paralysis and with a critical hit takes the win.
Walk regionals here in North America of the season, yet only 16 remain in the Masters division. By the end of our day here, we will crown our latest regional champion in North America. I'm Joe Brown, joined by Sierra Dawn, and it's been a great day so far. We've had some fun matches to get us started, and it's only going to get better.
You're really channeling your inner Wolf Glick there, like this many people entered, only this many remain. Like, I like it.
Well, I listen. Wolf is inspiring. He teaches me things. He teaches me how to get better at VGC. He teaches me different things. Maybe it's good for commentary, you know.
Hey, we're learning, but it has been such a fun weekend. I cannot believe we're already at the top 16. It's
Day 2 really, for those who've watched the streams for many years, Day 2 really flies by now in comparison to prior seasons with more Swiss rounds.
Yeah, it's actually just unbelievable. But we've been having a blast here. The last match was a lot of fun. Even like the top of day, like people are out in the crowd cheering and everything else. I think it's just been it's been a really great atmosphere, which is something I really appreciate about these events every single time.
Absolutely. I do want to take a somber moment for our friend Toxapex and Michael.
You know what, I just realized my mic was off. I had an entire dialogue.
With the regional championship, and there's one way to make me happier, and that's to celebrate.
I had like,
that's gonna lift my spirit
God.
From this sad
in general, I wish I knew earlier about fully understanding EV training and, you know, all that back in Heart Gold Soul Silver, because I did buy the National Dex book that also taught you how to train your Pokemon and how to team build. But I have plenty of boxes in Heart Gold Soul Silver, Black 2, you know, Gen 5 games, you know, plenty of EV drain Pokemon for those, like, you know, Pokemon, like for like the Battle Train and the Battle Frontier for Gen 4, you know. But that wasn't until like I actually was in high school that I fully like did all that training. And even despite Gen 6, I didn't really do all that training in Gen 6. Mostly because the game is slower. I feel like Gen 6, Gen 7 games run very slow compared to like Diamond, compared to Heart Gold Soul Silver and Black 2 and White and the Black and White games.
Is there a limit per Pokemon rules to how many plushies can be next to me? It's a very important question for our Top Cut member.
Man, look at Joey down there, man. Oh my God, that's why he's to go.
Yeah, and I feel like I know where the follow-up is going for this tweet, considering what we got to see afterwards.
Yo, look at that! Latios.
So I saw this, and this was already amazing. You got the whole Cricketune gang amazing. That must be so loud and obnoxious, considering the sound.
Oh, drop a Draco!
Once will I ever dare to try and say on broadcast. The iconic, right? But there is a guy that just has a bunch of Cricketoons that's handing them out, just like a suitcase of Cricketoons. There's a Cricketoon guy out there.
Hey, wait, I saw you with a Cricketoon yesterday.
Hey, Garte got the Cricketoon and then told me the legend of Cricketoon guy.
Cricketoon guy.
I just hope that I get the opportunity to meet him to see the suitcase of Cricketoons. Where do you get all these Cricketoons?
The Cricketoon prophecies shall be fulfilled.
I have so many questions.
Oh my God, dude.
That Pokemon needs to win this championship.
I don't know if I mentioned, but like I do, around Sword and Shield, I really started understanding, because then there was also that Battle Tower mode, where like I did try I fully tried making teams and, you know, all that. I think I've been watching Pokegame Joey and Blunder for maybe one whole year now, or maybe 2 years now. It's like I can't believe it's only like, you know, I should have been watching them for all these years. Like I should have been watching them ever since Sword and Shield era. I can't believe I didn't, because it was definitely around. When did I start watching Pokegame Joey and Blunder? Definitely, it's between 1 year and a year and a half ago that I started watching them for sure. You know?
I wish we could watch all of these. I wish I had as many eyes as I could to watch all of them.
Man, it's like being this high in level and understanding of like doubles. I will never understand doubles. I don't like wide guard. It's hard for me to know when you wide guard, which is why I would prefer to like double on. I would prefer to double onto one of my opponent's Pokemon. You know, one Pokemon hits with like, you know, 2 Pokemon on the side, and then another Pokemon just hits 1 Pokemon.
Yeah, as we like to call it, the reverse Benjamin Button with James Evans, 2018 Senior World Champion into NAIC Champion into a regional champion he went the hard road compared to everybody else, but James is certainly no
Man.
slouch, especially in a familiar format to him, as familiar as it can be since there are new Pokemon. But he won that IC with the Calyrex Shadow Rider on the team, so and a Sunsetter in Groudon, so definitely feels comfortable with this squad.
Looking over at Lucas' teams, we get to dive into the team sheets and everything else. This is something that we got to talk about a little bit earlier on Top of Day. You have a lot of really strong Pokemon and two different ways to be able to enable them. You have the Tailwind with the Whimsicott as well as Trick Room on this Lunala. And Pokemon that could really thrive in either one of the environments depending on what team your opponent is playing. Things like Miraidon is really just a huge damage press button, and Lunala has a little bit more of that longevity on the field thanks to that Shadow Shield and that Electric Seed. One of the really interesting changes, though, Miraidon, we've got really accustomed to seeing this more Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam set. Instead, we're getting the Terra Electric, so you're really looking for that maximum damage with the Electro Drift Volt Switch. But Snarl is an adaptation that we haven't really gotten to see come out from a lot of people, and I think this is actually really well poised into a lot of these different restricted threats going on.
Yeah, I think the Miraidon's kind of...
Yeah, look at that. It's Ensign, Urshi, Ursaluna. Those are your physicals. Oh, well, I mean, I guess it's 3 and 3. 3 special users and 3,
It's nice, too, at the Assault
yeah.
because you're not locked in with a choice spec, so that actually gives so much staying power for that Miraidon.
And let's look at James Evans' team. There
And
is
then special, and then 2 physicals.
on the stream yesterday in round 2, claiming KOs left and right. This is the Terra Fairy Assault Vest Raging Bolt, but you have access to the Sun with Koraidon, so not only do you get a special defense boost from the Assault Vest, but you're going to get a special attack increase as well when the Sun is up.
And even if this team doesn't inherently have a way to set up a Tailwind, set up a slow mode for the team, anything else, you do have a little bit of still speed control options if you're eyeing up something like that Electro Web, which is going to deal a nice little amount of damage considering the typing and everything, and slow the game down a little bit. And when the Raging Bolt is so inherently difficult to get rid of, that can be key in this match.
All right, so let's get into it. Top 16 of your Milwaukee Regional Championships. James Evans and Luca Paz. Will Luca break the streak of the undefeated player losing?
Wow, look at this shiny Lunala. I love the colors because it reminds me of like Flandre Scarlet.
And yesterday we got to feature James Evans on stream, and this Galarian Weezing, which we didn't even get the opportunity to talk about in team preview, wasn't necessarily seen. And we haven't really gotten to see too much. What's really nice about this is it completely shuts down your opponent's abilities, but when you look at your Koraidon, having that ability shield means that you can still take advantage of the sunlight that you're setting up. So already great momentum onto this first turn up against this lead that Luca has.
Especially because so much of Miraidon's power comes from those damage multipliers, setting up electric terrain, using a choice specs in this case, Luca only having the Assault Vest. So it seems like Weezing is in a really...
I just it's holding that one item, right? Yeah, he can activate his ability, but neutralizing, yeah, wow. I didn't even think about that.
With his fire attack, so let's see how Luca will adjust here. Will be the Flare Blitz right here in turn 1. But if it goes towards that, Lunala, what it was, it's now going to be in...
Oh my god, look at that.
But that is pretty strong damage, half of Incineroar's HP. You don't see Incineroar taking too much damage on the switch-in like that very often. Here's the Draco Meteor, and the help from the recoil Flare Blitz into Draco is enough to knock out James's terrestrialized Koraidon.
And that's terrestrialization spent. You got half of the damage on the
Dazzling.
Even if that was a lot of damage, all things considered.
Man.
The combination of that recoil and the Rocky Helmet, you lose your restrictive right away. It's going to be what these other Pokemon in the back can really provide for James. Now that they are in a situation that once this Galarian Weezing leaves the field, they'll be able to take advantage of that sunlight that the Koraidon stuck around that won't be able to be overridden at any point in this match. But now you do have the opportunity to attack with the Miraidon.
Wow, look at that. Without the terrain, that did so little.
Into the Brute Bonnet. They're doing just a little bit of damage as a resisted attack. We do get to reveal the information that Luca does have Ursaluna as his 4th Pokemon in the back right
Oh,
now.
Spore.
Incineroar to sleep, meaning that Incineroar is guaranteed to stay asleep this turn. Dazzling Gleam into both of these two, but even as neutral, it's not doing a lot. Important to note with how these speed teams are trained that the Brute Bonnet definitely has some speed investment to be outspeeding this Incineroar.
shutting down that Incineroar going on forward, especially on this turn, is nice. You're not going to be on the wrong end of a Flare Blitz into something like that. The Ursaluna, though, looking at that Volt Switch and the Ursaluna now getting in, you instantly get that Flame Orb activation into that burn. So you have the status for that Guts boost and for a lot of damage going on forward. This Galarian Weezing on the other end, you haven't really been able to do the most amount of damage. The most staying power is the fact that you've just turned off abilities. And if you leave the field to try and bring another attacker on in, that's where the
Oh my god, Ursaluna's damage is...
kind of sitting in the waiting room right now, waiting for Galarian Weezing to either switch out or be knocked out. The Seed Bomb into Ursaluna brings it down pretty low here. Follow up with the Dazzling Gleam is not going to be enough. Incineroar remains on with 2 HP as well, but it doesn't wake up.
Doesn't wake up. I just realized, yeah, the Ursa. Wow, that's crazy.
It is not providing much help. It would have been nice to get an attack on the way out, but hey, get out of here. Let's make way for better things. And this is where we can see one of those restricteds hit the field. Lunala could be good into these ones right now. Rhydon could have provided some value with something like a powerful attack, but notably when you don't have that Dazzling Gleam thanks to Snarl, that's not going to be as effective into something like that Brute Bonnet.
Yeah, and at this point, the Weezing is just such a problem that you'd probably have to target
Terra Fairy
into a scary spot if Weezing is going to, protect itself. You don't want to over-index into that slot, but you have a very healthy Brute Bonnet, very healthy Weezing at this point. Lunala doesn't really have access to the Shadow Shield as of right now since the Galarian Weezing is on the field.
Yeah, the Galarian Weezing, despite not really doing much damage, just the power that it's had with this neutralizing gas has been absolutely crucial. But if you are looking at Pokemon that on this turn can maybe try and hit into it and take care of it, if there isn't something like the Protect, then abilities to be back on the board for Luca. Terastallization, though, at this point in the match, and Lunala is going to be turning into that Fairy type.
I just realized, yeah, he already Terra exhausted on the Koraidon.
Get rid of that 4 times darkness weakness here and now turn it into a resistance as a Fairy type. Weezing does protect, as we were having a conversation about, so Lunala with the move blast doesn't go into that slot. It will target the Brute Bonnet with the Terra Fairy. It's super effective, and Brute Bonnet is down.
And that's going to be nice. You can make sure that this Ursaluna sticks around on this turn, and maybe you don't get the KO onto the Weezing on the other end, but I think that's going to be just fine. You are on a little bit of a time.
One more turn.
So next turn it is going to go down regardless of getting hit or not. But at this point, James Evans is down to final 2 Pokemon. It's going to be a very fast one. Calyrex Shadow Rider on the field.
And that Calyrex Shadow Rider is going to be the fastest Pokemon. However, the Lunala is incredibly healthy, right? Full HP at this point, even without the Shadow Shield. You're no longer weak to Astro Barrage, so Lunala feels like it's in a pretty comfortable position. Lucas still has Miraidon in the back for at the end of this turn when Ursaluna gets knocked out from Flame Orb.
Yeah, and even just looking at this Ursaluna, I'd be worried about maybe even taking a hit and giving over a Grenade. If you just get perished at the end of the turn because of that burn, then you can just get that swap, not give over a special attack boost. And when you're looking at that Miraidon in the back with the Assault Vest, that could be big. But now look at the damage into the Lunala. Lunala's going to stick around for a moment or two.
Guys.
Oh
wait, I forgot. It's literally Sash.
It sticks around with 1 HP if it's hit while at full health. Now you have the Galarian Weezing go for the Dazzling Gleam, not going to hit Ursaluna. Will do hardly any damage to Lunala. And finally, Ursaluna, as the sunlight fades, Ursaluna will knock itself out from that held item Flame Orb.
Oh man, with the AV, it's like.
That's kind of just overstayed its welcome. You've done what you had to do, and let's make way for better Pokemon. And now double restriction. For faster and stronger Pokemon. So Miraidon Lunala on the field, and Miraidon here, you're looking
Doesn't
at
James lose here? Yeah, this is very bad.
Calyrex doesn't have any boost, and it is down to the Focus Sash, so the survivability is going to be the key part to then deal with that final restricted on James's end. And once the Weezing is by itself, it's going to be hard pressed to find a way to be closing out the match.
Yeah, I mean, the wheezing, at this point, James effectively has one hit point remaining, right? It's only the Calyrex that matters. If it's wheezing, clicking Dazzling Gleam every turn, you're not going to take down an Assault Vest, Miraidon, and a Super Bowl.
Snarl. Yeah.
This is interesting. Going for something like the Snarl, it might not be the most accurate if you're looking at needing to take care of the Pokemon.
I say, like, it's crazy that just doesn't kill anything.
Miraidon does connect on the Snarl there, knocking out James's
Yeah, that's
Shadow
it.
Rider, lowering the special attack on the Weezing as well. So with 2 restricted Pokemon versus a poor little Galarian Weezing in this spot should be wrapped up. There's the Moongeist beam. Lunala putting in work in this game 1, and that's going to go to our undefeated Probopass.
Staying undefeated so far, and one more game away from being secured in top 8. And really well played match, even down to those little decisions. You are okay, you're okay KOing your own Incineroar. It's a sleeping, it's not helping out. That protect on the Ursaluna, so you're not giving over a special attack boost onto the Calyrex Shadow Rider, is really nice when you know that there's the outspeed. And when you're looking at that final decision too, you could have had the option of the wide guard, but then that could have been tricky if the Calyrex Shadow Rider does go for something like Psychic. So at this point, since you know that you hadn't given boost over, you're good there. But I want to highlight the Galarian Weezing because it was something to shut down the abilities on Luca's end, but in the end, you're just able to take care of all of these partner Pokemon. Losing the abilities is okay at this point. You still have the damage, you lived the hit, you didn't need
It's crazy. Using the
Yeah, it's kind of just about the raw stat value that these restricted Pokemon and Ursaluna provide. Like,
using the neutralizing gas to hinder the Ursaluna.
Matter, right? It's just not gonna matter. Well, Miraidon's still incredibly strong. Lunala incredibly bulky. Ursaluna can hit like a truck, even with the Flame Orb hurting itself there without its ability active. So at a certain point, James, you know, in making an adjustment in game 2 here, Galarian Weezing, it feels like he can help. It turns off Electric Terrain. It gets rid of Shadow Shield, but just they have so many stats available with such high special attack anyway that it might not even matter.
That was a really tough one though, because you're not wrong at all. It is going to shut down things that would really enable Luca's team, but then you weren't able to really get anything done with it. But then also, if you leave the Galarian Weezing at home, look at what Luca was able to do without abilities. You can only imagine what he's able to do with them.
Yeah, I think it's a very difficult spot for James, but obviously as a regional champion here in Scarlet and Violet, as a IC champion in a double restricted format, if anybody can come back in the set against our #1 trainer in the field, it would be James Evans. We'll see if we can force a game 3 here, or if Luca is going to move on to top 8. Miraidon, Lunala for Luca, and again, it is Galarian Weezing and Koraidon for James.
So this is where we're going to look at those adjustments being made. Yet again, it's going to be Koraidon with ability shield to still set up the sun. That very first turn, we saw Flare Blitz into a Incineroar that swapped in. You took Rocky Helmet, you took Recoil, and then, well, instantly you just lost the Koraidon on the spot. So does James opt for a different type of move into this turn so you're not taking all that recoil damage? Or maybe looking at a swap? Because even if you're not taking the recoil, something like a Draco Meteor from the Miraidon would really hurt. But since it doesn't have that choice vector, and maybe take that hit a little better, as long as you commit the Terrestrialization, of course.
Lunala switching out into Incineroar, so things are feeling a little similar at the start of game 2, at least on Luca's end. James deciding he will go for the Terrestrialization yet again, turning into a fire type. You do not want to be weak to a Draco Meteor coming out from the Miraidon. So you got to change that typing around to get rid of that weakness. Now, the Flare Blitz from this last time went into the Incineroar. It goes into Incineroar again. 2 turns in a row.
But for less damage.
Game 1. We'll take Rocky Helmet recoil. We'll take Flare Blitz recoil. And then the Draco Meteor, it connects into Koraidon. James opts into the exact same play turn 1 and loses Koraidon again.
So now you have to wonder what the final 2 Pokemon are in the back for James and what the game plan is here going on forward. Do you value that amount of damage that you're able to do, which was lesser than that first game? How do you switch things up? Because already, if we go down this road, that was a strong victory for Luca, and now this Miraidon has taken not really much damage. You had an Incineroar that's awake, still at 1/3 health, and even when you bring that Brute, if you have the Brute on it, if you bring it in and put something to sleep, that's still going to be a rough time. Instead, adjustment right away. Calyrex Shadow Rider. We're not preserving this Pokemon for the end. We're going to bring it out here right now, and I think that this is going to provide a lot more offensive pressure on this turn. You still have to watch out for the Incineroar, but it's not having something like that knockoff, so it is going to be a little bit better poised in face of this cast.
And currently, if you stay with the Ghost, or well, you will stay with Ghost Semi after already terrestrializing, can't get faked out on Cavalry Shadow Rider either. So kind of a tough spot for the Incineroar to go with which attack he wants to lock into. Shadow Rider will protect, but that's okay for Luca because the Volt Switch goes towards the Weezing. So now you can either go back into the Lunala or reveal your fourth Pokemon, which, as we have the benefit of seeing, is the Ursaluna.
James won't have to wait long to get confirmation either, because that's going to be the one hitting the field here. So Calyrex, sure, it's going to stay safe. It has the Focus Sash still intact, and you'll get to have a little bit of damage with this Dazzling Gleam. U-turn, though, interesting, is positioned into that Calyrex Shadow Rider, so Incineroar has to stick around. And
yeah, Incineroar wanted to go not only to switch out to maybe get Miraidon back on the field with a full special attack, but also wanted to break that Focus Sash. So hugely for James, Calyrex's Focus Sash is still intact right now. However, you're facing a normal type Ursaluna on the other end and a dark type Incineroar. So Astral Barrage, without the help of a helping hand or something, might not be doing as much damage as James wants.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that's also to be looking out for in this match. So I'm just really eyeing up what this Calyrex Shadow Rider will be able to do in face of these Pokemon. The Ursaluna, even if it's not going to do the most amount of damage, but still, again, this Weezing has been sticking around the field for as long as we can remember at this point. You do not have the benefit of having these abilities, and the Psychic is not going to be that same amount of damage. So Astral Barrage, of course, nothing into the Ursaluna. Doesn't do enough to the other slot, though.
It isn't a resistant hit into Incineroar, but it's already...
Oh, we've got a +1. No, wait, we don't. You do?
However, that will boost Calyrex's special attack by 1 stage. Dazzling Gleam, single target into Ursaluna. Now we have the Headlong Rush hitting Calyrex, but remember, no Guts ability helping out Ursaluna here.
At least you've broken the Focus Sash, which is going to be one of the nice things, but we're still looking at a
Wait, how come he gets his Grimnay?
You have a special attack boost, which is nice, but you're still contending with a Miraidon that has that Assault Vest.
That is so weird. It doesn't deactivate Grimnay.
Lunala onto the field now. Terastallization hasn't been used for Luca, so on this turn we can't see something like that Fairy Terastallization to still furthermore make sure that you're not taking the most amount of damage from the Calyrex. It should be a good chunk, but especially since your Shadow Shield isn't intact at this point because of that Galarian Weezing. But still, this is not going to be maybe the lowest amount.
Last game, the Lunala terrestrialized into a Fairy type because obviously you don't want to be getting hit with a boosted Astral Barrage this time around. We'll see that Luca is probably...
And so yeah, because of all the typings, this is why Glastrier, this is why Cali Ice Rider is so much better. Man, yeah, the ice one really is just so much better.
Calyrex not even opting to be aggressive here. Instead, will protect itself from a Moongeist Beam that was targeted into the Calyrex Shadow Rider slot. So no damage from Lunala. And now Weezing goes for the taunt. So Lunala is no longer able to click Trick Room if that was Luca's game plan on future turns. Here's the Headlong Rush.
Man, it survives that. It survived a Headlong Rush. That's hilarious.
So now this Lunala is offense only. Since you did go for the Moongeist Beam and you are looking at a Calyrex that has that Sash broken, you'll be fine on that turn, but something to keep an eye on for maybe the follow-up going on forward.
Yeah, now pretty quick lock-ins for Luca there, because at this point you don't have as many options to decide between. You only have Miraidon in the back. You don't want that to take any damage on the switch, and especially from a +1 Astral Barrage. You can't click Wide Guard, you can't click Trick Room, so pretty much the best option is just try to get those attacks in. Ursaluna is kind of causing a little bit more trouble or more of a headache for Luca in this game too than it did in game 1 when it stuck around. It's been on the field for too long, not doing enough damage. Here is the Astral Barrage into the Fairy type Lunala. It is +1, so it does pretty much exactly half of Lunala's HP. And Luca will respond with a Moongeist Beam into the Calyrex Shadow Rider.
And so I thought I remember the Cali taking damage.
Galarian Weezing and its 4th Pokemon in this game has not been revealed yet. There is the Dazzling Gleam.
That did a decent amount on Ursa.
To finally get rid of Weezing, and James is down 1v3. It's back against the wall here in Top Cut.
Abilities are back. It's a 3-to-1 situation. And sure, the Lunala can't go for a Wide Guard. It can't go for a Trick Room, but the Sash is broken. Again, I'll this Calyrex Shadow Rider. The only thing you need to do is Moongeist Beam. Since you have that Terastallization, nothing can be done. And now the final Pokemon, Brute Bonnet, it's definitely had the glow up, but these are odds completely stacked against you. You have a Terra Fairy Lunala on the other end. It's going to be clicking some buttons, getting the damage, taking the win.
Yeah, Lunala with the super effective fairy attack into Brute Bonnet. Not going to be enough for the one-hit KO. Little nice moment for the Brute Bonnet to survive that hit. But the Facade will surely handle the rest. And Luca Paz remains undefeated here at the Milwaukee Regional Championships. Moving on to top 8.
The only player with 11-0 record going into cut and is going to be making his way on to the next further competition. And with such a strong team and playing that so well, not being afraid to be making a little bit of risk, making calculated risk, coming out ahead. And yeah, even in the face of Pokemon that were trying to shut down Luca's team, he never really stuttered in the face of all of that. So Luca's going to be a tough one to take down.
Hey, as long as the Draco Meteors connect, those first...
Why do you even say that?
No, I'm saying...
Alright, that was pretty cool. I do want to go look at Pokemon VGC 20... Was there a 2022? Alright, this is what I want to see. Do they not have... Oh my god. Oh, 11 hours. Here's our first match.
We'll be thinking, okay, what's my...
I'd say Wolfie's not here. Not in his first match, huh? Porygon 2! I got him in my car, baby! Oh, I love him so much.
Yeah, and you can see our players starting to take some notes. They may very well already be in that
Shit,
team
Dinja is
preview.
so
But I mean,
cool.
this is so exciting, guys at home. It is round 1 of the Pokemon World Championships. These players, you can see their focus. They're, you know, just staying so intent on that game, and I can't wait to see how this matchup's going to go. I think when you lead out straight away in turn 0, it can be such a kind of a prerequisite to how the game is going to go. Are you going to force your opponent to go for an adaptation straight away, or are you going to have kind of the upper hand straight out of the blocks?
Yeah, and it's so important to get off to a good start as well in the tournament. You know, that's the big thing for all the players. You don't want to start with a loss. You want to start with a win. But unfortunately, there is always going to have to be one winner and one loser from each of the matches. But this is where the pressure game is for all the players coming in here. You want to get off to a great start and
Oh, here we go.
Get that win.
Well, are you ready for it, Pokemon trainers? We certainly are. Let's jump into game 1 here at the Pokemon World Championships. On Lowry's team, just to recap, the Pokemon very
Here's the
quickly,
Ensign.
we've got Porygon 2,
Oh my, oh, you know what? I forgot he did dominate.
Ice Rider, and on Colin's side,
Good old Mr. Regieleki.
Shedinja, it's there. Grimmsnarl, Incineroar, and the Kyogre. But the leads coming out, it's going to be a Grimmsnarl apiece with a Regieleki and an Incineroar.
Yeah, you've got the, looks like both players are kind of relying on that combination that we have talked about before for those the teams that they're respectively bringing. With the Incineroar on Colin's side of the field, active fake out on the
Also, yeah, this is going to be much more beautiful looking.
for that. Protect here just to get around that or a potential parting shot that could come out.
It is going to be that passing shot going.
And so yeah, because a prankster, it can't hit the Grim.
Going up there as well in the face of the special attacker. It's good.
Oh, really? Okay.
Grimmsnarl just goes for a spirit break there, dropping the special attack as well.
Yeah, it's a safe play here from Lowry, you know, just getting that protect on to the Regieleki here. Doesn't want to take any stat drops from potentially the Incineroar or anything that if you ball switched out here that was coming into the field or potential fake out, like we said. The light screen from Colin just setting up that protection there for the next 5 turns, depending on the item that the Grimmsnarl's holding. Might have that light play, so it might be a little bit longer, but does give a little bit of protection to his side of the field. For that longevity of his team against the big threats like Regieleki that's now gone for that ball switch.
Yeah.
Man, look how I'll say that amount of damage despite light screen being up.
From the back and reposition on the board. Colin, I think, going very strong here for the defensive plays. We've got a light screen up, we've got a reflect up, possibly just anticipating something like the Calyrex Ice coming in.
Oh, it's not
That
Trace.
later on. Parting shot's going to come out from the Incineroar as well. Lots of repositioning. It's going to connect onto that Porygon too. It's not going to mind it too much. It genuinely plays a more supportive role, but it allows Colin to be able to switch that Incineroar out, maybe intimidate a little bit later on when something like the Calyrex is on the field, and can bring in a Pokemon to apply some pressure to the Grimmsnarl and Porygon too.
What do you go for?
Oh,
analytic? Oh my god, this guy brought a Reshiram. What is Reshiram gonna try doing? Attacking Zacian? Is that who you bring it for? I mean, Steel doesn't do much, and then you're neutral against Play Rough.
Is an option for him to potentially disrupt that side of the field, but it does come down to the options that Larry's got. Maybe no Thunder Wave because he is relying more on what looks like Trick Room.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, the Grimmsnarl on Colin's side has taken 2 Spirit Breaks, just going to jump out of that and bring Incineroar back in. I think this is good to be able to apply that fake up pressure in the following turn, maybe allow the Zacian to be in a position where it can set up a substitute, particularly if Trick Room goes up. It's a good place for Zacian to be hiding behind the little substitute there. But Porygon 2 is also going to jump out of the way, and we're going to see Reshiram restricted out here on the field. That's something Zacian certainly does not want to see.
No, definitely not, and it's a great switch in there for Larry to just put that bit more offensive pressure onto Colin's side of the field now that he has got that Zacian out, as we see a Reflect go up. Which I mean, you know, things on his side of the field.
Oh, even with Reflect, ugh, that's so much damage.
Yeah, we saw the Sacred Sword come out from Zacian here. I mean, Zacian's the Pokemon that has so many different move pool options, and we've seen a rise in some controversial choices lately, something like a Quick Attack. But it's good to see that that Sacred Sword is on here, because that's going to be a good threat to something like that Porygon 2 that's so bulky and difficult to get rid of.
Yeah, and we've seen 3 Pokemon from Colin's side of the field now. You've got to wonder, is the Kyogre in the back now? Because it is probably a good Pokemon to bring in against that Reshiram. It's probably, if you can get maybe a parting shot off onto it from the Incineroar, you've got to be a bit wary about if it goes for the Dynamax this turn. But maybe Larry wants to keep that Dynamax kind of until he gets the Trick Room up, potentially knowing the speed difference for things from his side of the field to Colin.
Well, Regieleki going to take the Behemoth Blade there, obviously not very effective, so why switch in here for Lowry? As the Earth Power comes out from the Reshiram, it's not going to be enough to pick up the KO against that Incineroar. The Light Screen really paying off there for Colin, as Incineroar not only surviving the attack, but is able to drop the special attack of the opposing Reshiram as it dives out of the battlefield once again.
Yeah, great play here from Colin as, you know, the screen's coming into great effect to just make sure that you are able to take these big attacks. Reshiram a very strong special attacker, but with that light screen up now,
Kyogre, that's it.
Moves a bit less reduced and getting the parting shot off, reducing the.
Because what is it? Is it Scarf or Specs?
Making it even less strong going into this next turn.
Yeah.
Also getting that pivot out to the Kyogre, getting the rain onto the field. It's not in the greatest position because you are threatened by that Regieleki, but the Reshiram here not a threat as much as it was on his turn to the Zacian.
Yeah, and I love the Kyogre here on the field. You mentioned it'd be good to get it in to threaten that Reshiram, and sometimes you have to worry about the Regieleki, but Light Screen is up. Kyogres tend to be relatively bulky anyway, and if you go for the Dynamax, you're going to double your HP stat, and you're going to be in a strong position to be able to withstand anything that Regieleki throws your way, and that's exactly what the Kyogre is doing. We talked about this a little bit previously. These Max Geysers are going to be hitting really, really hard, and Lowry doesn't seem to have any utility to be able to change the weather unless you want to max, you know, go for a Max Flare or something, but that could be then risking a KO on your Reshiram. But it is going to be a Dynamax Peasley.
Yeah, both players going for the Dynamax this turn.
Oh, yeah.
Kyogre Dynamax and then Lowry going for the Reshiram Dynamax, which is, you know, a big.
I totally forgot that in this gen, you can set up Sun anytime you want to. You can set up terrain, set up Sun, do whatever you want.
And it's revealing obviously that life orb on there as well, so it's trying really hard to deal some strong electric type damage. Could be indicative of the item on that Kyogre as well, something like an Assault Vest to boost up that special defense even further. Obviously allowing Lowry the utility to be able to switch in a Pokemon to the back, and it's going to be that Grimmsnarl. Maybe getting Grimmsnarl in.
Yeah, I never really, my whole playthrough, I never really fully utilized,
really well on the switch in as Kyogre goes for the Max Geyser.
I never fully utilized the
Is it enough? It's not quite
Dynamax. That was a crit and it still didn't kill. That's crit.
Indicating an item on that Reshiram, potentially an Assault Vest there, taking that attack
Man.
and surviving. Able to get off the Max Flare here, and that's the big thing. We'll be able to change the weather here, and for, well, at least this
Okay, light screen's over, but Resh is slower than the Kyogre, so it's like, ugh.
to change the weather in its favor.
I mean, I think with the low HP stat of that Reshiram, Max Geyser is going to be able to finish off even in the sun. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Grimmsnarl maybe going for something like a light screen here, just trying to boost up the special defense a little bit more on Lowry's side.
Yeah, and you've got to think as well that the Zacian on Colin's side of the field is probably going to, well, it's going to be able to pick up the knockout onto the Reshiram on Lowry's side. But you've got to worry potentially about a fake out from Lowry's Grimmsnarl. Hasn't got access to fake out is an option that we see sometimes on Grimmsnarl, not all the time, but you've got to be aware of that, and you don't want to leave your Zacian in a compromised position.
Yeah, so Zacian just diving on out of there, bringing in the Incineroar. You know, it's got low HP, it might easily be KO'd at this point, but I think you're right, Lee, it's better than sacrificing your Zacian at this point. Grimmsnarl does indeed go for that light screen, boosting up the special defense on Lowry's side of the field.
Man, but not Dynamax makes the game look so beautiful.
He's going to override the weather, bring the rain back onto the field, and connect into that Reshiram.
What? It didn't kill?
Has to be a Zolpes, yeah, taking that.
Wow.
Last turn, as we do see another Max Flare come out, but into the Incineroar this time, and Incineroar, obviously with the rain up, able to take that and stick around for this next turn, which is really important for Colin. Now going to have access to that fake out, all the partner shot once again to reposition, potentially take down the Reshiram this turn. He has got the speed advantage and he can get that Zacian back onto the field to help him kind of close things up.
Yeah, well, we know the Grimmsnarl on Colin's side isn't running Light Clay because we've seen the kind of defensive measures drop.
Okay,
now.
so it's
Colin
not Light Clay.
To get those set up again if he wants that kind of defensive wall that he's been able to have so far in this match. But I think it's interesting looking at both these max moves being so underwhelming in their damage thanks to so many different conditions to do with raising up defensive measures or weather control as well. Reshiram's going to get out of there, doesn't want to use its last max move, and I think that's wise when it's not dealing so much damage. And bringing in that Porygon too, maybe getting in a position to get Trick Room rolling on Lowry's side. Max Geyser is going to
So if that's not a Porygon too, that that's not gonna do much with EVO Light plus the light screen.
Set that rain, so it's still going to be able to hit hard once Dynamax is over.
Yeah, getting the rain back up is so important because, like you say, when the Dynamax finishes, you want your Kyogre in its preferable condition, the rain on the field, so it can actually start doing some big damage. Now, Lowry's decided to actually switch out the Reshiram, save it for later, and get the Porygon 2 onto the field now. And you would think that he's probably going to try and get a Trick Room up. I think if you can get the Trick Room up, you're in a much better spot to get the Reshiram back onto the field. As low health as it is,
Crazy, every time it comes in, it gets that +1.
Going to be able to still do some considerable damage to things like Zacian that do threaten pretty hard at the minute.
Grimmsnarl on Lowry's side still going on the offensive with those Spirit Breaks. I think finally connects on a Pokemon that is going to suffer from it, you know, being able to lower the special attack of the Kyogre, whereas previously it connected into physical attackers will be more beneficial to Lowry here, and that Kyogre's now in a situation where it's had a special
I mean, there's a Zacian and Kyogre, then there's a Porygon 2 and a Grimm. I really feel like Colin is winning this. Just because there's a Zacian on field.
Organization is going to be, you know, it'll all come down to whether or not that Porygon can survive the attacks. Pretty much, we are seeing the Reshiram come in just to take probably a Water Spout or an Orange Impulse from the Kyogre here, but the Porygon 2, it all comes down to whether or not it can take this combination here. As we see Sacred Sword come out, doing big damage, but is the Water Spout enough?
Oh, in the rain, it's enough to pick up the KO on that Reshiram, but not on the Porygon 2. It's going to be able to hang around and go for something like a Trick Room. But when you look at the Pokemon on Lowry's side, actually all four have been
Well, there's a recover.
in the back to come in and take utility of that Trick Room. So Porygon 2 just going for that recover. It looks like Lowry's going to try and keep the speed state how it is.
Yeah, and in a way, it makes sense when you are sacrificing the Reshiram, was very low health, and you want to maybe rely a little bit more.
So here comes the rain. I got 8 minutes left of streaming.
Which is going to be faster than everything else.
But I will continue to, no, I have to go to sleep for the sake of my health.
With Colin's screens ending now, Lowry in a position where he can't really threaten, even though the Kyogre, we've seen how well it did take that Thunderbolt already.
Yeah, that's the thing, Kyogre, a little bit of a precarious situation for it. It's going to have to take a Nullavolt, which you can see how much more damage that is doing when the light screen is not in play. But once again, Lowry able to reposition, now gives him the opportunity to bring in the Grimmsnarl from the back and possibly get those screens up, or even threaten that Kyogre even more with another Spirit Break and just render it a little bit more useless for Colin here on the offensive side.
Yeah, especially if Colin's locked into Water Spout, but I'm sure he's preparing for an attack from the Regieleki, so probably an Origin Pulse and nice predict there as well to get the Grimmsnarl on the switch in. You know, going for that safe attack into what was the Regieleki if it stays on the field.
Water Spout's doing nothing.
Taking it down. If it switches out. Then the Grimsnarl comes in, you know that's in the back, so pick that up.
Oh, foul play, baby.
Yeah, foul play just going to come out, connect onto the Zation, do a decent chunk of damage despite not being very effective. But I think this is the interesting situation here for Colin. You now know that Lowry's down to just the 2 remaining Pokemon of Regieleki and the Porygon 2. If you can deal with the Regieleki that's on really minimal HP remaining, then Porygon 2 isn't too difficult to deal with. It's known as this kind of bulky, annoying Pokemon to get rid of, but when you see how many Pokemon Colin's got left, you can try and get the big damage on it, chip away at it. It's only got a limited amount of recovers. You're going to be able to deal with it eventually in the endgame situation. You know, Porygon 2 can't do too much to the powerhouses that Colin has left.
No, it is going to struggle, but I think here it's a hard decision. Do you go for the Zacian, try and remove it from the field, but it's an easy protect here from Colin, whereas you could go for that safe kind of bet, knowing the item on that Kyogre, the Assault Vest, it can't protect. It's an easy slot to attack into, but with you've got no options now to go for the Volt Switch to get it off the field, so you might be forced to kind of go after the Zacian here to try and remove it, but just playing for that safe protect.
Yeah, Regieleki protecting once again, as is Zacian on the opposing side of the field.
Man.
So plays coming out from our players as Porygon 2 goes for the foul play into that protect. And interesting now, Colin has got the Incineroar on the field. It can go for fake out here.
Yeah, it's a great play from Colin.
Oh, that whole time they just had reflect. Oh.
And with the protect coming out from the Regieleki that last turn, it gives Colin the ability to
A second protect.
Double protect.
I think Regieleki heard you. It gets the double protect, so it's not going to take the damage from this fake out, you know, not allowing it to move. And Zacian was doubling up into it, so really Colin just ignoring that Porygon 2 that's going for another foul play, trying to get rid of this Regieleki as quickly as possible. Zacian is able to hang on though.
Yeah, just about. And now the Porygon 2 putting in a lot of work. I think it's going to struggle if its only attacking option is foul play to get the damage onto the Incineroar in particular. So like you said, it's going to be an uphill struggle for the Porygon 2.
Aleki's faster than Zos.
Sticking around. Lowry's playing it very well, you know, to get it this far into the match and whittling things down. So
Porygon 2, I just don't think is faster than Incin.
Colin's Pokemon are very low health at the moment.
Really?
All the Pokemon have dwindling HP. It's going to come down to speed. Zacian going for the protect.
Oh, the web.
Regieleki's going for that Electro Web, trying to lower the speed of Colin's Pokemon, and also
that should kill, yeah, Incin.
So low HP could get you the KO, but not on the Zacian, but it will on the Incineroar.
Yeah, and that's a nice pickup there, getting that as the Porygon 2 does recover. So you can see here that the problem that Colin has is he doesn't have anything that outspeeds the Regieleki. It is dwindling in its HP though, and it has got the Life Orb, which if you can't knock it out, you know for a fact only
Man, look at how close this was. Oh wait, no, Grim is here.
Coming in here, it is going to be able to, you know, set up screens, and does it have some sort of speed control as well that can disrupt the Regieleki with?
And Regieleki going for another protect here, knowing that it doesn't want to go for those Life Orb recoils and dwindle away at itself. Grim's not going for the reflect. I think this is, you know, decent in this situation here, but the issue is this Porygon 2 going for
Yeah, I should have.
full HP. Well, not
I
anymore,
feel like
still
either way he should have always went for the. That does, yeah. I mean, you're +1, dude. Reflect, like, you're still dying.
Off a little bit. It's now in a position where there's not a lot that, for example, the Grimmsnarl can do to it. If it can get another recover off, thanks to its natural bolt, it can be in a position where it can try and go toe-to-toe with this Kyogre.
Yeah, potentially, and you know the Regieleki definitely threatens the Kyogre really with. There's no protect there from the Kyogre, so we know the Assault Vest is on that. So it's an easy target here for Regieleki to go into that slot, and then all you have to do is worry about that Grimmsnarl. Porygon 2, on the other hand, does have access to recovery. We've seen recover already, and all you need to do is chip down a little bit onto the Grimmsnarl.
Because of that, the Origin Pulse kills.
The Origin Pulse connecting and moving first thanks to that scary face speed drop. We'll be able to pick up the KO on both.
Oh my god!
Critical hit for style points, able to claim game 1.
That is a huge turn there.
That is
right at the end as well of that match, just to pull out the scary face is a huge play.
I'm gonna say,
giving him the speed
because of Origin Pulse, scary face and Origin Pulse is like that right there.
Thankfully to hit its Origin Pulses, that must have been a bit of a heart in your mouth kind of
Fingers
moment.
crossed.
Well, now I see a reason why you slap scary face on that.
Just making it easier to deal with that Porygon 2. As they say, I think if the Kyogre went down there anyway, and it was the Porygon 2 versus the Grimmsnarl.
Wow, that was crazy. The scary face at the end.
The Grimmsnarl. It would have been a long drawn out match. So maybe he would have even went to time because that was quite a long game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, I have to talk a little bit more about Colin's Grimsnarl here. We saw it at the beginning of the game, set up the light screen and the reflect.
That's funny. See, he's got the Shedinja in the back.
Kind of an advantage early on in that game. Having that defensive capability meant that Larry didn't really have too many options to be able to deal big damage and was kind of forced to go for the Dynamax on the Reshiram when it had taken a Spirit Break drop, just to be able to change the weather and negate the offensive pressure that Colin was kind of issuing at that point. The Grimsnarl at the end, though, showing off its supportive capabilities with that scary face. That's great information for Larry going into game 2, but does allow Colin the utility to work around that Regieleki a little bit more.
Yeah, it definitely makes it less effective. You know, the one thing that I did mention throughout that game was the fact that first going on really possible say that this match to keep it.
Here we go.
But speaking of the Pokemon, we're into game 2 at home, guys. It is going to be for Colin, the Kyogre and the Grimsnarl coming out, and the Regieleki and the Grimsnarl on Larry's side.
Yeah, so we are seeing Larry bring that Grimsnarl. It makes sense as well. It gives him a little bit more support with the screens like Colin went for. But Colin going a bit more offensive this time here with the Kyogre straight off the bat, you know, but he needs to get that we are seeing him go for the Dynamax with the Kyogre here. Obviously with the Assault Vest, it is going to be able to take attacks from that Regieleki a little bit better.
Oh. Honestly, not bad.
Yeah, it's still going to
not bad with AV.
If we see there's some disruption from Larry's side of the field onto that Grimsnarl.
I always think it's really brave going for a Dynamax in front of a Regieleki. But Grimsnarl able to go for the fake out here into the opposing Grimsnarl, so Colin's not going to be able to set up any screens and protect the Kyogre. It's going to have to take a Thunder. It does not do quite 50% here, so that's almost really paying off for the Kyogre. It's able to fire off a
that kills Reggie.
Into the
Grim.
Grimsnarl here, and we'll just remove a solid one-hit KO from the battlefield, so no breaks does Colin have to worry about.
That's a huge turn for Colin, and a really smart choice, because I think the one thing that you don't want is screen support from your opponent. Getting the obvious target is the Regieleki, because it's putting on...
No, after this match, I'm going to bed.
Obviously, you weren't able to get your screen support up, but now that fake out disruption's gone, you're free if you are Colin to get a light screen support up, so you know the next turn, whatever Regieleki throws out, you are going to be able to take that, and you can potentially pick up a knockout in that position now. A Reshiram hitting the field, of course, can disrupt the weather, but we know it is slower than the Kyogre, so we'll be going after it. This turn, if the Kyogre goes for one of those big max guys, as it is going to have the rain boosting those attacks behind it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised to see Colin try and just target down that Regieleki, because like you said, Larry played it really well last game. You could go for that Scary Face and Max Geyser. You don't have to worry too much about the Reshiram at this point. You can maybe try and target it on the next turn. But Larry is going to go for the Dynamax on the Reshiram once again. So we've got both of these kind of weather setters facing off against each other, and it's always a scary situation for Reshiram against a water-type Pokemon. But Regieleki just going to go for the Protect. He doesn't want to leave the battlefield quite yet, pivot out with a Volt Switch or anything like that. As the light screen does get set up by the Grimsnarl on Colin's side, and I think this is key when you've got two special attackers against you, particularly one in its Dynamax form. Kyogre able to go for this Max Geyser, so going to be able to draw in the advantageous power of the rain, and even through the Protect, that does so
that
much
is so much, dude.
Yeah, a massive hit there through that Protect, and we do see the Max Flare come out from this Reshiram. It hasn't got the special attack drop that it had in that first game, and now it has the Sun to kind of boost those fire attacks and disrupt their water type attacks from the Kyogre here. The Regieleki still in a really awkward position, because it is going to potentially get knocked out this next turn, but it is going to outspeed. Has to worry about that Scary Face though that we saw from game 1, so it can't be as free as it previously had been.
Exactly, so I think bringing in the bulkier Porygon...
There it is, Scary Face.
As Grimsnarl does indeed go for that Scary Face into what was the Regieleki slot. So Porygon 2 able to take that. It's pretty slow anyway. It doesn't mind another drop. Followed up by this Max Geyser that was going into that slot. So
yeah, Porygon 2 not taking that much.
Knowing that Colin was going to try and target it down. I mean,
yeah, don't you just hit Max Flare over and over? Quake. Oh, to boost special defense.
It's going to go for the Max Quake and boost up special defense on Larry's side while trying to deal with the Grimsnarl, but to no avail.
Yeah, it's a nice option here for Larry to go for that, because I think
this does help the Porygon too.
Disrupting the weather. The one thing is that the Kyogre's got, it can switch out and then just activate the weather once again with that drizzle ability that nothing on Larry's side of the field has, you know, an equivalent to. So you're better off making the most of your max moves, and it's great to see him go for that max Quake here, and especially on that Porygon 2 and boost the special defense of these two Pokemon. You know, one has an Assault Vest, the Reshiram has the Assault Vest here, so it's going to increase its defense capabilities even more, and especially because you lost that Grimmsnarl early on in that first turn to the Kyogre on Colin's side, you know, you haven't got that line of support. But the Porygon 2 in a good position here, potentially now to set that Trick Room up and get that Reshiram in a nice spot to try and get some damage back onto Colin's side and kind of try and even up the scores.
Yeah, Grimmsnarl once again playing defensively for Colin, setting up that Reflect on the battlefield, boosting up the physical defense as Kyogre goes for an Origin Pulse, once again connects, but you can see it's not dealing too much with that Assault Vest on the Reshiram. There's going for another Max Quake, boosting up the special defense again to really kind of negate the offensive pressure of this Kyogre. It's now going to be at +2 special defense, and that's going to be a really hard wall stacked with that Assault Vest for Kyogre to kind of cut through the Reshiram with.
Yeah, it just makes it even more.
And there's the Trick Room. There you go.
The Trick Room come out from Lowry's side of the field and twist the dimensions, making everything on the field that was the slowest now the fastest for the next 5 turns.
Yeah, and again, looking at Colin's HP stats, Kyogre and Grimmsnarl in that yellow zone there. And I think Reshiram now having that speed advantage over the Kyogre, it can go for, you know, some more Earth powers and just try and chip away at it. You can deal with the Grimmsnarl much easier as well. So I'm not surprised to see Colin switch it out here. You want to kind of preserve that Kyogre for when Trick Room's over, knowing you're going to regain that speed advantage. And I think Incineroar's a great Pokemon here. Unless it's something like the Earth power coming its way, it's going to be able to take a multitude of attacks from that Reshiram.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think the one thing you want to do now is try and slow the game down to stall out these Trick Room turns if you're Colin. If you are Lowry, though, you want to try and make the most of these turns and get as much damage onto Colin's side of the field and try and get some knockouts as soon as
Blue Flare.
Oh, and there's the Blue Flare in the rain.
Incredible.
Such a powerful move from the Reshiram, and I love the animation as well. Always nice to showcase that on the broadcast. But nice for Reshiram to get the KO there. It's forcing Colin to have to switch a Pokemon in from the back, and it's going to be the Zacian here. And I think this is interesting because the rain is up, so that does give Zacian a little bit more coverage. I believe the Reflect is still up as well on Colin's side. Maybe not the light screen, I'm not sure. I have to double check. I'm hoping that the animations will be able to tell me. And Reshiram can then apply a lot of pressure with something like an Earth Power, even out of the rain. Then you're not going to have your kind of Firepower dwindled from the, you know, the Fire type move.
Yeah, that's it. I think you've got an active fake out if you're Colin here to potentially stop the Reshiram this turn if you want. It's the better option to do because you don't want to take an Earth Power from the Reshiram. Probably, if you had to choose between the two, you would take a Foul Play out the two options. Of course, Colin can protect here, but it feels a little more useful to fake out and then get some damage onto the field and start pressuring and just slowing things down and chipping things away for when that Trick Room does reset. And like you say, Lou, you're in a much better position. I think the timing of when you get the Incineroar off the field for Colin is key. If you can get through these Trick Room turns to try and get that Kyogre next to the Zacian when the Trick Room ends, so you are in a position to try and clear the field. Now, I think the big thing here is to try and get some damage onto the Porygon 2 so you can prevent a second Trick Room going up, because that is going to be very difficult to kind of play around. Although you've still got to worry about that Regieleki as well, so when the Trick Room does end, now the Grimmsnarl's gone on Colin's side, there's no scary face, so that Regieleki does become a bit more of a threat again for Larry.
Yeah, I completely agree. If you're Colin here, you have to think, what's the end game of Trick Room going to look like that I want it to be in, basically? And I think stalling out this Trick Room, going for that Protect on the Zacian is a really good play here. Porygon 2, once again, going for the Foul Play. We saw this do it in Game 1, just to trying to whittle away at that Zacian. It's going to be the Throat Chop from the Incineroar.
Oh my god.
Against the Reshiram, so the Restricted is gone for Lowry here, as the rain is going to stop on the battlefield as well. But we know Kyogre's hiding in the back for Colin. It can reset that at any time.
Yeah, and with one more turn of Trick Room left, you've got the Regieleki coming in. So the big thing here is I think it leaves the Porygon 2 a little bit open to take some big damage. Where you can you have to really protect the Regieleki here, because any attack coming out from the Incineroar on Colin's side of the field, the Throat Chopper will be enough to take it out. And you know, the Porygon 2 is not going to be able to knock out the Zacian here, so you're going to be able to remove the Regieleki. He hasn't protected it though, Lou, as we see.
Oh, it's not protected, and it's going to be the Flare Blitz coming into it from the Incineroar. Going to be enough to pick up the KO against it. Nice seeing the Incineroar catch that KO as well. The Incineroar also taking a little bit of recoil, and Zacian free to go for the Sacred Sword. It does so much to that Porygon 2. Of course, we know in Trick Room, Porygon 2 can just keep clicking that kind of recover.
But that's it.
Trick Room has now ended.
Yeah, and it's to just hit that Sacred Sword button and close this game up and take set 1 for him, which we do see the forfeit come out, and Colin Haya is the victor in this first round.
Whoa, that was very interesting. Alright, here it is. Here's the last thing. Hey, it is. Oh, wait, let me close this. Close that, close that, close that. And that's it. No shiny. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well. Okay. So that was fun. I will be doing this again tomorrow. Tomorrow. Lord knows I'm tired. So, gonna end the stream and go to bed.